I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fam's on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Yo, so I don't even know where to start. What's good, everybody? Let me start by first saying, yo, welcome to the Knicks Morning Drive. I'm your man, I'm your host, Uncle Freezy, and I'm pissed. Yo, let me shout out my people. Michael Hansen was good. Danny was good. Simmons Singh was good. Shea Legacy was good. Robert Paul was good. The Nick that never sleep, man. I see you. Yo, so my energy is up. Don't get it twisted. My energy is up. Dripmore was good. Jeremy was good. Robert Paul was good. What's good? What's good, everybody? How y'all this morning? Yo, how many entities did the Knicks play last night? I thought it was supposed to be like, one entity at a time. Right? Who was on the court against the Knicks last night? I can't figure this out. For the life of me, I can't figure out who our enemies are anymore. Who are we? Who was our opponent last night? Somebody in the chat, please tell me who the Knicks played last night. Who did the Knicks play last night? Somebody please tell me. Because the schedule read Brooklyn Nets. The schedule read Brooklyn Nets. The schedule read Brooklyn Nets. Did it not, Sean Hawkins? Sima Singh says, we played two teams most nights. Jay Boogie, what's good? Jeremy Nussbaum says, horrible officiating is undefeated. I'm here to tell you that the referees were our opponent last night, for one. But wait, there's more. Right? I'm so frustrated. And this thing is bubbling over, right? This thing is legit bubbling over into so last night after the game. So okay. So last night, I ain't gonna lie to you. I give you some insight into what I saw last night. So the one Frank foul call I saw was egregious, right? So I was like, wait, RJ Barrett goes to the basket and gets bumped chest to chest, and they don't call a foul on a Brooklyn net. Kyrie comes down and he falls over Frank, and Frank gets the foul called on him. But wait, there's more. There's more. Sim Miz, what's good? But wait, there's more. Julius Randle drives to the basket. A dude swipes across his head. They don't call it. Right? Kyrie comes down and he does a half spin, half shimmy. Full arms Frank, reaches out and pushes Frank. And he falls towards Frank while he does it. And Frank holds his ground. They call Frank Ntilikina with a foul. But wait, there's more. Right? But my question before I get to the end game, can somebody please tell me how many foes the Knicks have on a nightly basis? Right? I need to figure this thing out. Right? We need to legit figure this thing out. Because this thing is going beyond Nick hate, right? We're beyond Nick's hate now. It's borderline Nick's bullying. Entities are legit coming after the Knicks at a rate that's mind-blowing and asinine at the same time. It's mind-blowing and asinine at the same time. Why? What have the Knicks done to so many people where they feel like they have to pile on against the Knicks? What have the Knicks done? I'm not sure. Don't ask me. I'm asking y'all. And shout out to my beloved chat, by the way. Right? So someone could say the Knicks had their opportunity to win this game or at least tie it. Right? And we did. We did. Despite all of that, we still could have won the game or at least tied the game and had a shot to win. Somebody help a brother out. Somebody help a brother out somewhere. Somebody somewhere, please help a brother out. I'm asking you, the chat, to help me understand how we enter this game. We throw 5 people on the court and they throw millions of people on the court. What is that? How is that fair? How's it a fair fight? That's not a fair fight. Brooklyn, you're exactly who we thought you were. You're Soul Glow. We talked about this yesterday. You're exactly who we thought you were. You are the king, the prince of the Soul Glow Empire. Brooklyn, you're exactly. Yesterday, we called you out for who you were, and you proved us right. You are the prince of the Soul Glow Empire, right? And Knicks, you are the humble prince of Zamunda, right? Right? You are the humble prince of Zamunda, Knicks fans. Ismail Rivas says, salute Uncle Freezy. Last night the officiating was absolute trash. Bogus call after bogus call. Yep. Yep. That's what it is. That's what it is. So we came out slow. The Knicks pause. So as a team, we didn't put our best foot forward at first. We didn't come out. We didn't, and this is something that Thibodeau is going to have to address. We didn't come out smoking. Okay, so Thibodeau is going to have to address this because we don't have the offense to let teams get us into a 12-point deficit, 15-point deficit on a nightly basis, and then come back and try to win. And the sad thing is, I think we're going to have to shake up the starters, right? We are going to have to shake up L. Williams. What's good? Kane Jerry, what's good? 0.5, I see you. The sad thing is, we are going to have to shake up the starters, right? But that's our problem. Last night, there was a clear agenda. There were motives for and by everybody. The Knicks' motivation was to go out and beat Brooklyn. Brooklyn's motive was to come out and look good. The referee's motive was to embarrass the Knicks. What about the NBA's motives? Was it to have a fair competition between two sides? Was that it? No, that's wrong. That's wrong. Because I can point back to numerous games this year where the officiating crew had a clear agenda against the Knicks. Damn near an axe to grind. Anybody remember the Portland game? The Portland loss? The game we lost to Portland in Portland? Anybody remember that? Throw a thumbs up in the chat if you remember the ending to the Portland Trailblazers game. Throw a thumbs up in the chat if you remember the ending to the Portland Trailblazers game in Portland. The one we lost. I'm going to wait until I see a thumbs up because I can't remember. I can't be the only person. I can't be the only person to remember that the officiating crew from that Portland Trailblazers game apologized to Julius Randle at the end of the game for a blown call. I can't be the only one. I can't be the only person to remember the referees taking the victory from us against Portland in Portland. Somebody show me a thumbs up in the chat if you remember us getting robbed in that Portland game where the referees legit took a W from us and then apologized after the fact, but we can't change it. That L is permanent. Shea Legacy says the NBA don't rock with us. They want Dolan gone. They want his golden egg. I can imagine. I can imagine they have owners lined up to buy this team already. All James Dolan has to do is slip on a banana peel. Right? And he's gone. And y'all know it. Y'all know it. Shoot. ESPN might buy the Knicks. Who knows? So I see a lot of thumbs ups in the chat from those that remember how referees took a victory from us in Portland, Oregon, because we took the fight to their darling Damian Lillard. We took the fight to him on his floor. And so they steal the game from us and then apologize after the fact. Well, we sorry. We sorry, y'all. We messed up, but we ain't going to fix it. Okay. All right. I dig it. I dig it. Our future gaming was good. Hey, listen, and I'm sorry to sound like a sourpuss. I'm sorry to sound like a sourpuss, but you know what? One time is an accident. 2 times is a coincidence. 3 times is a trend. Okay? 1 time is an accident. 2 times is a coincidence. 3 times is a trend. And I ain't trying to ruin y'all morning. Y'all know I love y'all, man. I want y'all to have a great day. You know what I mean? But enough is enough with this disrespect. Excuse me. Enough is enough with this blatant disrespect. And people that pile on and think it's cute, that ain't funny. I bet you everybody in this chat, and I ain't really betting y'all real stuff, I'm just saying hypothetically. I bet you everybody in this chat or nobody in this chat said Max Kellerman's name or looked for him before he disrespected the Knicks. I think it's safe to say nobody even mentioned Max Kellerman's name before he disrespected the Knicks. I bet you none of y'all even uttered Spike Lee's name before he went and did his fetch and stepper on ESPN. Spike Lee. Stop acting crazy, Spike Lee. Do the right thing. What does that have to do with Brooklyn, right? And as a Knicks fan, I just get tired of people piling on, and we get enemies from out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. I heard CP say, CP from Knicks Fans TV. I watched this joint from last night when I was preparing for this. And so sorry about being a little bit late. But I heard CP from Knicks Fan TV say, or I think either him or Terry and Trey, because I watched Terry and Trey's joint too before I jumped on. And so I heard one of them, and shout out to them, by the way. But I heard one of them, and I can't remember exactly who, but they said that Marcus Smart and other elite defenders, Pat Beverly, I think it may have been Terry and Trey. I think I heard them say that elite defenders get calls because they bark back at the refs. Right? And Frank was getting hit with like the foul calls that were called on Frank last night were egregious. Damn near embarrassing. So you call Frank a foul for that? Kyrie Irving lost his balance, fell forward, and shoved Frank and fell into the Frank, and you call Frank for the foul. I guess when it comes to star treatment, though, Frank Ntilikina is not a star, so he doesn't get the treatment, right? But the rule book says nothing about the treatment. Okay, this is borderline embarrassing. Embarrassing. You had to give Brooklyn calls for them to beat a 500 team at home. Simeon says they're gonna say Frank played horrible, but that comeback had my boy hands all over it. Yep. Hey, so Frank played horribly in the first half. Let's not get it twisted. Frank was trash in the first half, right? But he redeemed himself in the second half with defense, with his calling card. Okay. Frank in the second half played a good to potentially excellent game in the second half. If you take out those foul calls, the ghost calls, Frank played an excellent second half. Our boy has still got to knock down some shots, right? But he wasn't the reason why we lost the game. Brian Batista, listen. The call getting over the moving screen on Jordan was ridiculous. Yes. All Future Gaming says, yeah, Brooklyn was getting too many calls down the street. What? Too many? They were, oh my goodness. So Frank and Bullock was locking them up in the fourth and kind of in the third. Yeah. Referees need to take media question after games. So they do, except not to the public. That's why Melo and KP left, couldn't get a call. Nerlens Noel, 0 points. That's the crap I'm talking about. Yeah, Kane, Jerry, Joe Harris, airball, the ref say deflection. Look at the clear. Yeah. Word, they had no choice. Everybody was watching. That was an obvious jump ball. They were trying so hard. All right. You know what Knicks fans do, though? You know what Knicks fans do? Knicks fans let stuff slide too easily. We let stuff slide easily, man. You know, we let stuff slide easily. I'm starting to think that we're conditioned to losing. I'm starting to think we're conditioned to losing. Hold on for a split second, y'all. I'm starting to think we are conditioned to losing. Last night when we were down big, I jumped on Twitter and I saw people resigning to the fact that we lost already. I wish I could find let me see if I can find the tweets so I can start calling mofos out by name. Thank you. I wish I could find the tweets because On Twitter, Knicks fans were legit like, "Oh, Brooklyn is better than us. We were only down by 15. I thought we'd be down by 30." Knicks fan, really? Is that what you just typed? Is that what you just tweeted on a public social media website or app? Giving up to Brooklyn, but before we even get into the second half, clowns. That sect of Knicks fans will be the same ones that'll say something like, "Well, if you look at it objectively, I ain't looking at nothing objectively. I'm a fan, dummy. Look at it objectively. I ain't looking at nothing objectively. You look at it objectively, and we always get the shaft out of here. Trying to ride it, trying to stay on, trying to play both sides of the fence at the same time. You either with us or with them. That's just how it works. You on one side or the other. Period. Is there any Knicks fans in here? Where my Knicks fans at? Right? I need somebody, I need some legit, I need some positive Knicks reinforcement. Can somebody put "Let's Go Knicks" in the chat? I need to see a "Let's Go Knicks," right? Because I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated that stuff never goes our way. The referees are legit conspiring against us, right? You saw it in a Portland game, right? You saw it in a Portland game. Let me get a "Let's Go Knicks" in here. Somebody in the virtual chat, get our virtual chat riled up and excited to be where we supposed to be. Somebody say "Let's Go Knicks." Let's get excited for our team. Let's not lay down for what other people do to us. Y'all not tired of cats literally doing everything they possibly can to stop our success? We legit everything that can possibly be done to stop our success, they do it. How about "Let's Go Knicks"? How about that? Alex Jorge was good. "Let's Go Knicks" from Norway. No, been a while since I've been here. Let's get it. Damn Zebra hating on us. Alex Jorge was good, man. We love you, bro, and it's good to see you again. You need to be back more often if you can, man. We appreciate you. You got to come back so we can show you some love. Some love from Knicks fans. How about some "Let's Go Knicks"? Right? If you're a fan, if this is your team, how about type some "Let's Go Knicks" in the chat? I see some of them. I see some. And the more I see, the more excited I get that what we're doing is real. Sima Singh is in the building. Sima Singh was good. Yeah, Michael Hansen. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, salute. How we move, Knicks TV. What's good? Salute. Hey, man. Hey, we're trying, bro. Hey, we're trying. You know what I mean? We're trying. Frederick, that's the statement of the day right there. Let's go Knicks. You know what I mean? Send Miz. Yes, bring that energy. Let's go Knicks. You know what I'm saying? We have to listen. We have to stand together and in lockstep. We can't continue to allow things like this to happen to us. Not the last play of the game, but you know the play I'm referencing. The most impact the last important play of the game, not the free throws, but the Kyrie Irving play on Julius Randle. I mean, come on. How many of y'all thought that was the right call? How many of y'all thought that was the right call? Kyrie Irving touches the basketball and Julius Randle's elbow, right? And Scott Foster, aka NBA enforcer Scott Foster, calls a call against the Knicks there. What all Julius Randle wanted to do was shoot the basketball. What's good? What's good with it? Y'all saw it with your own eyes. Y'all saw it with your own eyes. Yeah, we do play tonight, right? But Sen Mears, listen, this is the game last night was the type of game that'll take all the wind out of a team's sails, right? And you're going to say, man, they should be resilient. No. Be resilient is after the Portland game. Be resilient is after the Miami Heat game where Bam Adebayo went to the free throw line 16 times, right? They legit called everything for Bam Adebayo, right? But nothing against Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo went to the free throw line 16 times. Guess how many times he got fouls called on him? 0. So in a physical game, he goes to the free throw line 16 times, but gets 0 fouls called on him. Right? So we'll be resilient after that game. The game where Jimmy Butler was getting so many foul calls go his way, he looked at Julius Randle like, hey, what you want me to do? Turn these foul calls down? I mean, I put an order in for 10, and they gave me like 37 of them. Hey, in a game against the Miami Heat, Jimmy Butler legit were getting so many foul calls in his favor, he shrugged to Julius Randle. I saw it. I was watching the Miami Heat broadcast. The Miami Heat broadcasters were like, wow, Jimmy Butler's getting the whistle tonight, right? That's before he got like 5 more foul calls go his way, and Jimmy Butler looks at Julius Randle like, what you want me to do? Turn this down? I mean, what? What do you want me to do? I mean, clearly they got my memo. I mean, come on. How much is too much? Coach Color Blocks was good. Oh, Coach, I don't want to. I ain't even ready to follow this. Coach Color Blocks is talking about he has to drop the Coach Color Blocks is like he has to drop the ball. Come on, dude. You saw Julius Randle drop the ball. What are you talking about? You saw Julius Randle drop the ball. What are you talking about? Coach Color Blocks is my dude. But come on. Stop patsying up for referees, man. Stop it. The referees don't need a fan club, Coach Color Blocks. The referees don't need a fan club. We don't buy referee jerseys, bro. The referees don't represent a city. Come on, dog. Come on, dog. Julius Randle clearly put the ball down on the floor during that play. Come on, man. Come on. And you say Julius Randle should have dropped the ball, right? What about Kyrie Irving hitting him on the elbow? What about that part? Is that conveniently left out? Come on, man. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? When shooters get hit on the elbow, that don't count no more? Joe Harris legit contested Emmanuel Quickley and landed at Emmanuel Quickley's feet twice, right? And we don't get foul calls there. We don't get foul calls there no more. What's happening? What's happening? What's good? What's good? We going to bat for referees now on blown calls? Chop low, what's good? Hey, Keyshawn, I see you. Hey, Keyshawn says he should have sold it more. Or you can trust that referees are going to do their job. You gotta help referees do their job now. We have to help referees do their job now. Hey, Cornerstone Cav, what's good, man?
Yo, man, what's happening? What's going on? What's happening?
I'm not happy.
Hey, man. Oh, hell yeah. I'm not happy either. I'm not happy either. That was total bullshit. I'm sorry. I hate cursing and everything, but I got to call like I see it, man. That was crazy. That was crazy last night. That was crazy. That's about as low as you can go. And think, Freeze. Once I saw who was reffing, I said, "Oh, we might have it." We might have, because there are some refs out there that just do not like us.
The Lisa Stansfield looking chick, the chick that looked like Lisa Stansfield,
man,
he has an axe to grind against the Knicks, bro.
Yes, indeed. So I gave Foster a chance. I gave him a chance. At that last one, I was like, "Yo," and then a couple of fouls on Frank.
A couple. I counted 4.
Yes.
I counted 4.
Yes.
I counted 4 fouls called on Frank that were legit.
Man.
Crazy. The most egregious one is Kyrie tried to blow by Frank.
Yeah.
And Frank kept his position. Frank was like, wait, where you going, Kyrie?
He wasn't hearing it.
And Kyrie fell forward because he didn't expect Frank to still be there.
Yeah.
He fell forward with his elbow, pushed his elbow towards Frank, right?
Yeah.
And it fell forward after that and fell onto Frank's ankles. And they called a foul on Frank. Yes. How do you call a foul on? So to me, I think that's the best defensive play that I've seen.
Yeah, man.
In a while, where he tried to he sauced up Frank to go around Frank and he did his move and go. And Frank stayed right in front of him. Like, you remember that game, Pong? You know how the ball bounces, whatever, and the little thing at the bottom, the little.
Hey.
So Frank was doing that, right? And so Kyrie gets off balance and falls forward over the basketball.
Yeah.
Shoves Frank in the thighs with his forearm.
Yeah.
And falls on Frank's ankles, and he called a foul on Frank. Right. But I'm sure there are some referee supporters in here.
Man.
They'll say, Frank shouldn't have let Kyrie fall on his ankles.
Whatever.
Frank should let Kyrie fall on the floor. That's how they think, man.
Whatever. You know what? That's the mentality of the Frank haters. That's what that is. That's how I call that.
I just don't get the whole support.
That's what I call that.
I don't get the support the referee thing.
I don't either.
I ain't bad, and trust me, I'm not bashing my man Coach Colorblocks. I'm not. I love Coach Colorblocks. I'm not bashing him. I'm frustrated with the referee's calls. So.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not, and I'm not bashing Keyshawn and nobody else. Y'all don't take it that way. What I'm saying is that the referees are supposed to be neutral.
Right. Neutral.
And bipartisan. Right. They're
bipartisan.
They're not supposed to impact the game one way or another by their impression, right? They're not supposed to impress themselves onto the game.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Right. I mean, come on.
No ref is supposed to be bigger than the NBA, the NFL, whatever you want to, want to call it and everything.
Right.
All right. So this guy, how we moved Knicks TV. The Knicks have to earn it all from respect from the refs to respect from the whole NBA. Well, apparently some key NBA players said the same thing as to what was the refs looking at with Foster with that play. You saw Dame Lillard. You saw Rudy Gobert. You saw Spider Mitchell. I mean, come on.
Bro, I'm telling you.
Come on.
The referee, oh man.
Spider Mitchell.
Ladies and gentlemen,
let's see him, man. You know why I'm
in
going to see him? Because he's going to give his stupid, ridiculous take on Frank didn't impact nothing. He's going to give his stupid Frank didn't impact nothing, that we deserve to lose the game, and that we're still going to be only win maybe 22, 24 games, whatever ridiculous number he said. I'm hating on this kid, man. I'm hating on this dude, man. Because he was hating on me yesterday. So that's the reason why I'm hating on him.
He was hating on you yesterday where?
Of course. Whenever I'm on, he looks for a way to hate on me. Because he thinks he's quote unquote always right.
What happened, Chuck B? What happened? You and Cornerstone Cav had an altercation somewhere?
No, we had an altercation somewhere because
I was in the chat and he was on Ron Cleveland being delusional with the rest of them.
How is that being delusional?
Shout out to Ron Cleveland too, by the way.
Yeah, that's my man.
Hey, Ron Cleveland. You need to answer the phone, man. I done called you twice. you big time at me now, Ron Cleveland.
Uncle Freeze, hey Freeze, he Hollywood now, man.
Hollywood, Ron Cleveland.
Hollywood.
He's grieving. He's grieving right now because he had them winning last night, and I try to talk sense into most Knicks fans that think we're going to win these games, and then get upset when they lose.
If you go in knowing that you're going to lose the game, you've already lost.
Okay, I already lost them, but technically, I'm not playing.
Are you even a Knicks fan?
I don't need to have.
I question your loyalty. No, it's Cornerstone. It's Cornerstone. All right? I call you Chuck. Have some respect. I call you Chuck.
All right, next time.
I see.
Right now, I'm stuck in Cornerstone.
Whatever, man.
All right.
Whatever. That's bull. That's okay.
Okay. Accept it. Now.
I got to accept nothing. Who are you?
If I was on the team, if I was playing, I would have confidence in winning. But being I could sit back and look at the team and look at the roster, God. I don't have confidence in this roster.
You had us winning under 20 games this year, and we've already exceeded that.
29 and 43.
You did not, man. Go, whatever tape you have, I want to see that tape where you said that.
I
want to see the tape where you said you said under 20. You said under 20. Now I want to hear from the chat. 30. I want to hear from the chat that said he said 29. What did you say, 29?
Under 30, we will not make the playoffs. Under 30, we will not make the playoffs. 29-43.
Oh, I don't know if I remember that, Chuck.
Thank you.
We might have to go back to the tape.
Yes, go back to the tape.
I'm not saying Chuck B, I'm not saying you lying. But I don't remember you saying 29 wins. That sounds kind of high to me.
No, I said under 30.
And under 30.
Parker says he said like 22-23. So that's one right there. Give me some more, chat. Give me some more.
Who would know, me or Dave?
Huh?
Who would know, me or Dave?
I thought I remembered you and another dude was saying like the Knicks won't. I thought I remember the kind. And this is me now, and I may be wrong. So if I'm wrong, help me out. But
everybody from the panel, please come in. Please come in.
When Vegas came out and said 22.5 wins, I thought Chuck B said 22.5. That's crazy. They won't even get close to 22.5. That's what I thought I heard. That's what I remember. No. Now I may be wrong.
Ron Miller says 19 wins.
Right. That is what I thought I heard. That's what I thought I heard Chuck say, 19 wins.
No.
But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to put
and that's the difference between Uncle Freeze. That's the difference between me, you, everybody else, and Chuck. We'll admit when we wrong. Chuck will never admit that.
Well, you always wrong.
We will never admit that.
You always wrong. You got it.
No, I'm not always wrong. No, I'm not.
I haven't been wrong yet.
Yeah, whatever, man. Whatever you are. Oh man, you are the narcissist. You are the narcissist of the worst kind, man. You are the narcissist of the worst kind.
Kev, I admit when you're wrong too.
I admit when I'm wrong. I even gave you credit.
I admit when you're wrong, and I give myself credit for it. And when
oh man, whatever, man. Whatever you are. Oh man.
I sure do.
Whatever. Uncle Freeze, keep kicking about the game, man. Keep kicking about it. Keep
So here's the thing.
Don't blame the refs.
Right. We'll blame the refs.
No,
right.
Don't blame the refs. It wasn't
no,
the refs.
Right. You're right. Yeah, we will blame the refs because at some point, you can't have the referees impress their agenda upon the game.
They didn't.
They did. Right. So according to what we saw, the referees did, and we're right. And those that dispute may not be right. Yo, look who here. What's good, boss?
What up? Hey, what's up?
Where you been?
Yeah, man.
It's been a long few weeks for me.
Man. I needed some knowledge, Colin Knox. I needed some knowledge.
I'll tell you offline, Freezy.
Okay.
All right,
we don't want to do. Yeah, we don't want to do like the. You know what I'm saying? We want to keep the private stuff private, man, so we can treat it with respect.
I gotta defend myself here.
For what?
Listen, I'm anti-ref. You can hear me on. I was on Legion's show last night, and I was on Legion's show like a month ago during the Atlanta game. I don't like the refs. As far as I'm concerned, Scott Foster still fixes games because he did. He already got caught for it.
Right.
That last call though. Yeah, last call though. Hold on, that last call. It's not Randall. You can't blame refs for that last call, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah, but wait. So where does it say that when the defensive player touches the ball, that's not I can see if he didn't touch it or anything like that.
Defender touches it, but Randall's got to get rid of that thing. He held on to it.
But that's not what the rule book says. And
it does.
Me,
no, it does. I'm looking at it.
I read the rule book last night.
Yeah. I'm looking at it right now.
Because there are two specific instances in which that happens, right? Like two things, like there is basically a decision tree. If such and such happens, then such and such and such and such. I get that part, right? But what I'm telling you is when you look at the play, first Kyrie touches the ball, right? No big deal there. No big deal. But when the defender impacts the shooter by physically touching him, that is a foul, right? And no matter how you try to argue it, when you look in the rule book
on the shooting motion, yeah.
Yes.
But I'm looking at the rule book. Right? It says a held ball occurs when when a defensive player touches the ball, causing the offensive player to return to the floor with the ball in his continuous possession. That's a travel. So Julius got to let the ball fly. It's like when he jumped up and he hit the apex of his jump, he's got to shoot it or he got to drop it.
But Kyrie had touched it.
But it's still Randall still had control of the ball. Like Kyrie got a piece of the ball. At that point, Randall's got to let the ball leave his possession, either by a jump shot, bouncing it off Kyrie's noggin, or putting it back on the floor. He can't hold on to it. Like you can't hold on to the ball, jump, and then drop. I'm looking at the rule book. But here's my other point. Do you see? Forget about this. Do you see how we're like picking at straws right now by reading the NBA damn rule book?
Yeah.
If it comes down to the last play of a game in crunch time, no ref at any level of basketball is going to give you that call unless it's egregious. So you see why Tibbs just walked off? Because he knows that Randall flubbed his lines.
Okay, so Color Knox.
I don't care about the call. I don't care. Like,
but don't you think that they had that they should have had the opportunity to review it?
They already used it. They already used the challenge.
They wasted it on another call.
Okay,
it's a good challenge. All right, or how about this? If Randall gets the call there, it's a jump. It's a jump at half.
All right, fine. That's fine. But what I'm saying is, you know how in NBA games, whether it's the playoffs or whatever, and it's towards the end of the game, they're always reviewing that. They're always reviewing stuff. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe,
well,
but
well,
that's not my issue. My issue is I don't know. Like I'm not happy with the rest last night, but blaming
right.
last night on that last call is kind of
Well,
silly.
I'm not just blaming that, but
I am.
two things. Yeah, two things. You want the opportunity. You want the opportunity, and two, I I agree with you not to just blame it on that one because there are a whole bunch, especially
Right.
with my boy Frank. That
Right.
was
Well,
ridiculous.
if
That was
so,
ridiculous.
so the challenge, the play that we had to challenge, we should not have had to challenge that play because it was that. Now that was egregious.
Yes.
Why they had to go beg Ted like, hey, you gotta challenge this. And if everybody is up in arms, why are not the referees doing what they've been trained to do?
You're right.
Right? Come on.
Right.
Everybody's like the Nets are walking the other way. Like, they right. You
Yeah,
know?
and that's the thing. That's the
so
thing. You saw
we have
Kyrie
to-
walking off like
we have to
yeah.
they're gonna challenge this and win. Like the Nets are walking off like they're gonna challenge this and win, right? But that's a wasted challenge
Now you
because
need that challenge because without that challenge, you didn't even get that last play.
Well, okay.
So I'm okay with the challenge. I'm just not okay with putting that much
emphasis on that last play.
play on the refs because it wasn't really the refs' fault. It was whatever the hell Randall did that play. Like if you look at the play that came out of that time, we win, we get the last play of the game to force overtime. I'm like, what is the play? What did they actually run? We messed up. Randall messed up, and he had a chance to. He just had to shoot it. He had to shoot the ball or drop it or throw it off Kyrie's head. He he has these crazy big hands with this good grip on the ball. Like he just didn't let go of it. This is a travel. He jumped up. The ball. Kyrie hit the ball on the way up. The ball's still in Randall's possession. So Randall's got to shoot it at the apex of his jump or drop it. He held on to it and then tried to bounce it as soon as he landed. But again, I don't care. I don't want to split at hairs for the last play of the game. I want to know what the call was. I don't know. I'm not letting the rest slide on this one, but it ain't that last play. I just can't really defend myself on that. It's not the last play.
Yeah, man. So the thing is, man, with the thing with Randall did slam the ball. So and on the way, coming down, I don't know if his foot hit the ground first or the ball hit the ground first, whatever. I know there was an attempt for him to do.
So when he's in the air, he's just got to drop it or shoot it. He cannot come down with that ball in his hand. And he did.
If he drops it,
then
then
it's
can
fine.
he still pick it up? Can he still? Okay, all right.
But Kev, he tried to slam the ball on the floor to do exactly what we're talking about.
But he's got to do it while he's jumping. At the apex of his jump, watch the play again. At the apex, it's all replaying it nonstop. At the apex of his jump, he's got to let it go in some way, shape, or another. He cannot hold on to that ball while he's coming down.
All right.
It's a travel. Okay. It is. It's a travel.
Okay. Listen, no, I'm agreeing. I'm going by what you.
I'm not agreeing.
You're saying it's a travel, then
No, Freezy, but look, all right, Freezy. Kyrie gets a hand on the ball, a clean hand on the ball.
Wow. What you're missing, man, is this. What I'm saying is, okay, we get that part, but Kyrie also hits my man on his elbow, right? He hits my man on
foul.
Oh my God! What are we talking about?
You're talking about the last play, right?
Yeah, I know we're talking about the same play, but the rule book, the one that we went to for one thing, we have to go to it for this thing also. We can't pick and choose when to go to the rule book, man, on a violation. What I'm saying is my man physically altered Julius Randle's jump shot by fouling him if you go by the letter of the law. Like we said, he's got to shoot it there. How can he shoot the ball when Kyrie hit him on the elbow?
He's gotta just throw it up as a continuation. But there's one thing you're saying, Freezy. It's like you're never gonna go by the letter of the law, the last play of the game in the fourth quarter, ever.
Right.
Unless it's something egregious, you know that.
Right.
Unless he got tackled.
Yeah. Right.
You're not gonna get like a little ticky tack. He grazed his elbow. He got the ball. You're never gonna get that call.
Not if you're a Knick. But if you're a Pacer, I'll give you an example. So Paul George pulls up for three, takes a bad shot. Amon Shumpert grazes Paul George's elbow with the Pacers down by 2. in a playoff game, they give the call to Paul George, and he knocks down 3 free throws, and they take the lead against us. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know. Like I said, I'm anti-ref, but
I'm
be honest on ref.
I'm pro establishment. Like I like the refs to be there if they're fair and even. But man, come on, bro. Come on, man. I mean,
That didn't
come
lose us the
on.
game. No, their refs were bad, but that didn't lose us the game, man. Like we lost this game by 3, and
we had 6 attempts to tie the game up when we were down by 3.
right,
Was
and
it
we
6?
didn't.
And we didn't.
Something like that. Yeah, like that hurts more.
Yeah.
What that hurts more is like getting 0 production. What was it quickly? Like 6 at 19, something like that.
Yeah.
Right? Like Burks put up another stinger because he sucks. Like you're never gonna win any NBA games if Reggie Bullock's playing 40 minutes a game.
Frank missed the 3.
Frank
Yeah.
he had a big donut the whole game.
Bullock
It is what it is, Keller Knox. But
But here's the thing: if any one of those marginal players on this team hits a quarter of the shots they missed, not even half,
Right.
we win the game.
Yeah.
Right.
That
Right.
I can fix. That I can fix. That I can be like, all right, listen, you gotta knock down shots. But this ticky tack call where that got us looking at like the finer points of the NBA rule book. Come on, man. Like,
Right. Well, what about this? Okay, so we'll move on from that. We'll just say okay that the last call of the game it could have been called either way, right? We'll just say that, right?
Hey,
But what about Kyrie Irving crossing up Frank Ntilikina?
that was crazy. I was yelling at the TV.
Frank is still there. Frank stays in front of him, right? Kyrie falls forward because he thought Frank would be going. He falls forward, elbows Frank in the leg, falls over the basketball, and tumbles onto Frank's ankles, and they call a foul on Frank.
Yeah, that was a bad call. That's a bad call, right? Like that is a bad. You could be mad at that all day.
Yeah. If that's Bruce Bowen, Bowen or Tony Allen, guarantee you they wouldn't call it.
That's a bad. But I know why they called it. I mean, like they called it for 2 reasons. The first reason is that Kyrie's Kyrie. He gets all the calls, right? You need him for ratings. I get it. Right. The second reason they called that call is because Frank has historically always played with his hands.
Right.
So it's like, if it walks like a duck. So it's like,
but how do you do that? How do you do that? Well, how do you call that when Patrick Beverley is known for that? Patrick Beverley, an undersized guard that defends up, is known for being reachy, but Frank does not get that call.
Because I'll let you know a little secret. Half of what players get called for playing good defense in the NBA is just reputation. It has nothing to do with technique.
Right.
And Frank's rep is that he's handsy, and it's true. He is handsy. He's handsy. He's handsy because he's slow because he has to be handsy, and so that plus Kyrie being Kyrie is a bad mix.
Hold up, coach. When I said Frank was handsy, nobody wanted to believe me.
I always agree with you on that. I'm always in that chat. I'm like, Frank is super handsy, man. He's got slow feet. He's got slow feet, so he has long arms, so he always reaches and he usually gets the ball.
Yeah, when I said that, Gmo says something about his hips, or he moves his hips good or something.
But the thing is, so this thing is not about Chuck. This right here is about us like saying, "Oh boy, what's good?"
Yo,
hey, what's good, boss?
What's up, bro?
Hey, nothing to it. I know you're gonna jump on and say how Frank is a great defender, and how the referees had the whistle stuck up their butt against Frank. I know that's what you're jumping on for.
Oh yeah, most definitely, man. Frank, look, Frank, he a hooper, man. You can say whatever you want about him, but he a hooper. He can hoop. So
and every hooper is different.
Exactly.
So to what Chuck was saying, I don't disagree with Chuck saying that Frank is handsy. What I'm saying is when others are handsy, they don't get these whistles blown on them. I watch Marcus Smart, bro. You're not going to tell me that Marcus Smart is not handsy. I watch Marcus Smart put his hands all over people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. At some point, we have to start saying the Knicks just don't get whistles.
Well, you're not gonna get a whistle if you're a marginal starter. Like you're telling me players who start on playoff teams, Freezy. And so
Frank's
the
been getting
reputation,
away with it though.
yeah, their reputation precedes them. You're not gonna get a call if you're the 10th guy on the Knicks, man. It's just not it's not the way it's ever gonna happen.
I can dig that.
Well, can I say one more thing about the refs real quick, and then we can
Yeah.
move on? Here's been my whole thing, just as coaching players. I get mad at refs if they can't tell me what went wrong. So
Right.
if there's a call that was made on the court that I don't agree with, if I can go to the ref and say, what's your call?
Right.
Explain the call to me, so I can tell my guys not to do it again. And then if my guys do it again after I told them, then I get mad at them, not at you. Right? That's fair. And so
Right.
if there's a call that I have to tell a ref to explain to me, and they can, I'm usually fine because they usually say, well, your player's being he's reaching too much.
Right.
So I'll tell my boys, yo, they're calling hands, watch your hands. If you use
Right.
your hands, I'm gonna be mad at you. Fine.
Yeah.
That's how it works here. And you can see it when Tibbs coaches. Tibbs always goes to the ref whenever there's a call. And he's like, he's animated, but he's like, what is your call? Explain it to me. I'll tell the boys and they'll adjust.
Right.
So for the Kyrie one, Tibbs is livid. I'd be livid too because the ref has no explanation for that. There's no, but then for that last Julius Randle call, Tibbs didn't say a word because he saw it too, and he could go right to Scott Foster, the guy who was caught fixing games in the G League, and he can say, "What's the call?" And he can be like, "Well, he didn't bring the ball back down," so on and so forth. That's my whole thing. If the ref can explain what the call is,
Right.
then you relay the message back to the boys, and then you go on from there. But if they can't explain the call, then it's a bad call. That's why I got mad at the Atlanta game for these Trae Young fouls.
Right.
Because I was like, well, the ref is silent. He can't explain the call because there's no call to be made. So now you can be as mad as you want to. But for that last call, I'm like, listen, he's got to drop the ball. It's 50-50, but it's always going to go to it's never going to go towards the way of the guy who's getting fouled. It just isn't. So that's my whole thing. And so I'm like, you could be mad at the Frank one because there is no explanation for that. I was like, well, he didn't reach then. He didn't do this then. Kyrie fell on him and you called it. Yeah, I'm complaining now.
What about the foul call on Frank when Frank went around the screen when DeAndre Jordan shuffled to his, I think it was to his left. He shuffled towards half court to make sure that Frank got screened, and they called the foul for Frank for going over the top of the screen.
That one I don't remember off the top of my head. I only remember these two off the top of my head.
So Jordan sets the screen, right? And so Jordan sees Frank about to go around the screen, like just go over the top of the screen with the ball handler. He shuffles his feet and hips towards Frank to make sure that he blocks Frank, shields Frank off from the ball handler. There's impact. They call a foul on Frank for contacting DeAndre Jordan, right?
He must have pushed him or something.
And so what I don't get is this. When I played, if there was a moving screen, if the screener moved, that was a foul on the screener because the screener actually moved his feet to create impact.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, they don't call those no more. The only time they call moving screens is if they like stick a leg out or something.
Right.
Because the NBA is too fast to call that moving screen.
Right. Okay.
It happens every play, but I don't know. The only thing I can think of off the top of my head is that Frank pushed off or elbowed or.
No,
then I don't know.
No, I know.
I don't know then.
Yeah. Well, and listen, I respect y'all. Y'all's knowledge on that, but to me, as somebody who played and saw it called, to me it looked like a moving screen on DeAndre Jordan.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Because he legit set a screen. Frank was going over the top of the screen and he shuffled to get in front of Frank, and both were moving at the same time.
Yep.
So in a case where you have both creating impact, you have to call it on the screener. I tell you what, if Nerlens Noel had did that to Kyrie Irving, I guarantee you they'd have called that on Nerlens Noel.
I think it's a reputation thing again, Freezy. Like I said, half the time the reputation precedes them, and DeAndre Jordan's been a pretty good player for a long time.
Right.
So he's gonna get it over again the 10th man on the Knicks. No
Right.
one cares about that. But
Well,
that I said my piece on the refs, and this is coming from a guy who's like I said, I get mad at refs when they clearly can't explain the rationale for their call.
right.
If they
Right.
can't, then it's a bad call. But if you can, then you give it to the ref and you just keep it moving because it's a lost fight at that point. Because then you
Right.
can if you cannot relay the information back to the boys,
Right.
then it
That's a
is what it
problem.
is.
That's a
It's a problem.
problem.
Yeah, but
Right.
if you can, you go from there.
Right. And so my deal is,
Or
if
if you have a bias or hatred towards Frank in this case, so but we won't
Right.
say who that is.
if we can learn from our mistake, I dig it. Right. If we can learn from our mistake, because I see the NBA basketball refs, I could like legit just choke their tongue out just off of nothing. Right. But in baseball, so the hardest one for me to figure out is baseball. Like the strike zone, like legit
It's
umpires in their
it's
strike zone.
totally subjective.
Right. Right. So I can at least go to them and say, hey, listen, you calling that ball right there for everybody? He's like, yeah, that's my zone right there. And so the next time I see him, I don't even have to ask him. Because once he tell me that, I'm taking like the mental notes. Sometimes I take physical notes, like, okay, a baseball, one baseball off the black is a strike, right? One baseball off the black, right? One baseball below the knee is a strike, or whatever, right? One baseball above the armpits is a strike. That's high. But if he's calling it, it's a strike. I can get it. But when you say Kyrie Irving tumbles over his own self, loses his balance, falls onto Frank's ankles, and you call a foul on Frank, I can't. What do I do right there?
It's like all right, I agree with you. And basketball refs are weird because they're kind of like that. Not fully like that. They're kind of like that. Like we always knew, oh man, we got that ref today, and that ref calls, the tickiest attack for travels. He calls it. Doesn't matter. You can shuffle your feet slightly. He'll call it. So you gotta adjust. Like our guys need to know. All right, Foster's coaching. Foster's reffing. He calls the hands, so we gotta watch the hands. That's also a player adjustment too. And so I'm
Right.
like, I also noticed that, but I do agree with you. One thing I've noticed about Frank though is that, mind you, I'm already a little biased. I'm not a Frank guy, but he plays with his hands a lot. But the other thing he does not do well is he doesn't adjust to what the refs do. If you're a good defensive player and you're a guy who plays up on the guy's chest, up on the guy's back, if
Right.
you're gonna play physical perimeter defense, you
Right.
have to adjust to how the refs call that game.
Right.
And so the one thing I can say about a Beverly, a Smart, Tony Allen, Bowen, they were dirty. They did this, that, and the third,
Right.
but they were able to stick around in games because they adjusted to what the refs were giving them. And I don't see that from Frank. I never see like that. Okay, he's being active and proactive in the game, and he's like, all right, I'm playing Kyrie. They're gonna call X, Y, and Z, so I gotta adjust my defense X, Y, and Z. He doesn't do that. He still does the stuff he does, and he gets called for it. So that's my beef with that. Is a two-way street, and most of the time, and mind you, I still think the Knicks we get shafted for a lot of calls. Like I still agree with that. Like I remember watching Carmelo play for 6 years here. The dude would get his headband knocked off his head, and there'd be no call.
No calls. Right.
Literally, I mean his headband would be knocked off his head.
I know.
He get decked and hooked in the paint.
Right.
So there's that part to it, but then the other part is it's a two-way street. Refs will be they'll be a little less objective towards you if you play their game as well. And we don't do that very well in the Knicks. We still do this Thibodeau like hard nose, lunch pail, grit and grind. We're always going to be who we are. That doesn't always work. You have to still be a little flexible here, and we don't do that. So we're going to get these. We've had multiple games like yesterday in regard to the refs because we don't adjust, and Tibbs doesn't let us adjust.
Right.
So that's my biggest takeaway from it. I'm like, well, you can play hard defense, right? Like Memphis did it for a while, but when it came to playoff time, they still adjusted a bit.
Yeah.
The Warriors adjusted a bit when they played defense. LeBron and those Cavs teams adjusted a bit. Like the Lakers adjusted a bit last year. The Raptors adjusted a bit when Kawhi was there. You have to adjust a bit. Like we don't do it. We just do this tips thing. So that kind of frustrates me. But
Right.
I've ranted enough. Sorry.
Hey, so how you doing now? You good?
Me?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's,
Yeah.
that's
No, I was talking to Color, not to Coach Color Blocks. What's good? You
I'm,
everything
yeah.
okay?
for the most part, man. Good enough for me to come back on and talk with you guys, which
Okay.
is what you need at times like this, right?
Yeah,
It's
man.
not normal.
I'm frustrated. Dominic, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing great, man. Honestly, that game last night, we should have won that game.
Yeah.
What happened though last night in the fourth quarter?
Now, I should let Chuck B tell it. Chuck B, you wanna speak to that, or you wanna let it ride?
Well, I don't think we should have won a game that, for one, we wasn't better than the team. Plus, we was down 17 to 18 points and trailing the whole game. So I wouldn't say we should have won that game. What happened was we got beat by a better team. And blaming the
Yeah,
game.
honestly, to answer your question about the referees negatively impacting last night's game, I feel like that was a bad call, honestly. I feel like that never should have been called, like whatever it was called, but I feel like that was a bad call.
I feel like Julius Randle got fouled on his dunk attempt where Green came across his head, swiping at the ball, and Julius Randle made the dunk anyway. Anyway, that's a foul to me, in my opinion. Right. Also, RJ Barrett going to the basket. He gets met chest to chest with a guy. A dude legit meets him chest to chest, swipes at the ball. RJ Barrett makes the shot anyway. They don't call the foul there, right? But James Harden runs the screen and roll, comes around the screener, gets bumped, right? They call a foul immediately. Immediately, they call foul, right? So it's and so I disagree with Chuck said, because I'm in a mindset that any team can lose to any other team on any given night. And how I know that to be true is the Brooklyn Nets lost to the Detroit Pistons twice already.
Well,
So better team really doesn't mean anything if you don't come to play every night.
all right. Well, that team came to play and it was up by 18. And you could rewind a game, any game, and find missed calls for both teams. So to just point out the missed calls for one team is kind of not fair, because a Net fan could sit here and do the same thing and point out missed calls for their team as well. So that's why I never blame referees for calls, because it always balances out. Because it's easy to go to one call at one point of the game. You could always go to a certain point of the game and bring up a missed call. So
I'm gonna say it like this: we had down by 3. We had 4 3-point attempts that if any one of them go in, it's a tie game. Right? The Frank shot, the 2 shots from Bullock, and Bullock, and whatever that was from Alec Burks.
Whatever that was.
Yeah, whatever that was from Alec Burks.
That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I like
Yeah.
that.
So, but I'm frustrated. I think Brooklyn is exactly who we thought they were. They're Darnell from they're Darryl from Coming to America. He's Soul Glow. That's the Brooklyn Nets. They're the Prince of Soul Glow, and the Knicks are the Prince of Zamunda.
And I'll say this: if they expect to win a championship, they can't do what they did with us last night. If you have an 18-point lead on us, you're supposed to put that away.
Yep.
And they didn't. Yep. And there are going to be better teams in the playoffs that are going to probably see what we did and say, you know what, we can come back on these guys.
You realize they didn't have KD, right?
Yeah, and I know they didn't have KD.
You
But
realize
KD
we
probably,
didn't have Derrick Rose or Mitch, right?
yeah, yeah.
You realize KD is better than Derrick Rose and Mitch combined, right?
No, KD might be one of the greatest players to ever live.
All right, so don't bring those two up then.
Don't bring KD. Don't bring KD up.
What do you mean? Don't bring KD? No, he's talking about.
You said that they were. You pointed him out like they weren't at 100%.
No,
and I'm telling you that we were not at 100%.
See that, and that's the thing with Chuck, man. He always be trying to throw stuff out there, man.
No, because you literally said they better not do that in the playoffs. Now you
exactly.
All right,
exactly.
So you have to put KD in that equation. That's all. That's what I'm saying. So up by 18 with KD,
you're
is a whole
assuming
different
that,
story.
So basically, you're assuming that Kevin Durant will be healthy in the playoffs, and Kyrie Irving will be healthy in the playoffs.
And you're assuming he's not.
No. Listen to me. This is not my point. This is your point. You brought this up. I'm asking you that you're assuming that Brooklyn will be healthy in the playoffs. That's a legit question. Is it yes or no?
I'm not assuming no injuries. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's what I was asking you. Right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I feel like Thibodeau outcoached their coaching staff last night. He didn't have the horses to beat them, though. Right? Because I felt like Reggie Bullock's and Frank Ntilikina's defense in the second half turned the tide in that game. They went from scoring at will to struggling to get shots off.
Let me ask you a question. You think Frank probably should have started last night?
No.
What do you think? No? Okay. All right, that's legit. That's legit.
No, I'll be honest with you, man. I think Frank is too slow a starter.
But I saw it slow, and I saw our pace was slow as much too, man.
No. I'm talking about personally.
Oh,
I think it takes too much. It takes Frank too long to ramp up in order to look like he played magnificent defense in the second half, right?
Yeah,
magnificent, right? But where was that defense in the first half?
Well,
so he had to ramp up into.
Well, you know what? That second unit was real funky, man. That funky, and I'm starting to. I hate to say it because I hate busting all my players. Obi does not look good, man. Obi does not. I don't think he has a clue at times, and now a lot.
Yeah,
I think
and he's 23.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, you know what? I think if you take that out of the equation, you probably might have won last night. You probably. Probably. Let's say this. If he's out of the equation, we're probably not. We are probably not down by that mark, because that's when they went on their run. That bench went on their run against us. Because you got I don't know who this guy who was his name, Wilcox or what was his name?
Claxton.
All right, so you had Claxton, you had who was the other oh man, it was so many.
Joe Harris.
It was no, not Joe Harris, the other white guy. The other one that had all the hair. What's his name? You know what I'm talking about.
Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson. I didn't even know.
Johnson.
I didn't even know he was still in the league.
Yeah.
But you had him. Who else did you have? Brown. Is it Brown?
Brown.
Yeah, Brown.
Bruce Brown.
I
thought it was Bobby Brown at first.
Yeah.
I was going to ask him not to be cruel. Don't be cruel.
Bobby
Brown.
Exactly. But their bench pretty much put our bench to school. Pretty much put us to bed, and quickly. And that's what got them to have that separation of points. Because remember, when our starters were still in there, I think they were up maybe by maybe 2 or 3 points, probably.
Right.
Right. Once they got in, that expanded, and it was hard to catch up. See, against a team like the Nets, you have to be within 5 points in striking distance in order to win the game, not to just be in it, but to actually win the game. And once they went up more than 5 points, that's all she wrote, because all Kyrie and Harden have to do is just give points here and there, give assists here and there. It's hard to beat that. So you have to be within striking distance throughout the whole game in order to beat this team. Even when we was up by 3, I mean, we were down by 3, I still kind of felt like, that they were going to probably pull it off and everything, because you have but so many possessions, So,
Right.
What's up, Evergreen? How you feeling?
I'm all right, y'all. Back still in pain, but
oh yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
A lot better.
Good.
Yeah.
That game yesterday made me feel a lot better. Listen, I look at it like this.
I'm gonna go grab a water. I'll be right back.
Okay.
You go top 3 teams in the East, right? Obviously, Brooklyn, Philly, and Milwaukee.
Right.
So let's say Brooklyn has a completely healthy team, which is really just KD and Blake are playing, which I don't even understand why Blake didn't get his opportunity to play if he was already there and whatever. I don't understand the logistics of that, but whatever. And the Knicks have a completely healthy team. That means Rose is not COVID restricted. Mitchell Robinson's hand isn't hurt. We just and Alfred Payton, for what it's worth, he's not in and out of injury. I think we have a puncher's chance. We have a puncher's chance at beating them or playing really, really good basketball against them in the playoffs. After last night, listen, hear me out. After last night's game, I came to the conclusion that what we missed off of the pick and roll defense that Harden and Kyrie were running individually, what we were missing was Mitch's defense in the paint. His ability to step in and harass at that position, because he's so long and lengthy, to be able to at least stop the drive and stop the floaters. We missed that. So I look at that game and I say, you know what? If we switch on everything except Kyrie, play Kyrie straight up, let him do what he does, but you switch on everything and you harass Harden. When Harden was playing the isolation game, he was chucking shots. Was he not?
Yeah.
So when he was playing that isolation game, he was chucking shots. So if you play Kyrie tight, which you only and you just let him do what he does, and you leave the primary decision making to Harden, eventually that switch on everything is going to turn into chucking shots, just like he was doing late in the fourth quarter or early in the fourth quarter. I'm taking that every day.
Yeah. Well, and here's
obviously I'm not accounting for what KD can do.
Right.
This is why I'm saying that if you bring in Mitchell Robinson back and you bring at least a much better facilitator and decision maker in Derrick Rose, and you bring back that defensive tenacity at the point guard position that Alfred Payton brings, that I think we have a puncher's chance at making a good series if we play them.
If we play them right.
That being said, in my mind right now, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, we are going to make 4 through 6 in the playoffs.
Right.
In my mind right now. Specifically because if we beat Philly today, which we have a chance, if we beat Philly today because we have a chance because Joel Embiid's out, then we play them again and we have a chance because Joel Embiid's out.
Again, yes.
That lets us know that we can at least compete with the top teams in the East.
Yeah.
So this game, with us being depleted with our primary, our primary point guards, and I say primary guards with an S because we don't know who's going to be the starter between Rose and Payton. Although most of us are probably in consideration for Rose, and our starting center is out, which means we're depleted in the paint because clearly Taj Gibson can't get it done, and clearly Obi Toppin's, too confused to get it done.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, when you bring in Mitchell Robinson back, who we don't have to explain a damn thing about what he can do on defense, and you bring back Derrick Rose, who we know is, Tom Thibodeau's guy, I think that we should have my expectation for this team right now is that we make the 4th or 5th seed. Think about it. We already blew out Milwaukee once. The only 2 teams that we haven't beat are Philly and Brooklyn. Every other team in the East we can beat. And we have beat. The only teams in the East that in Toronto. Did we beat Toronto? Yeah, we beat Toronto.
No, we haven't beat Toronto yet. We haven't. Evergreen. We haven't beat Toronto yet. We haven't beat Toronto yet. We only played them once.
Toronto.
Right.
Do we play them again?
Oh, of course. We only played them once.
Do we play them again? I'm not sure.
Who are you talking about? You talking about Toronto?
Do we play Toronto again?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so we'll say 3 teams that we haven't beat yet. Philly, who's at the top.
Brooklyn, and Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, who's at the top.
And Miami.
Blown out.
Yeah, Miami.
Well, Miami's at the bottom of the East right now, right? Not the bottom completely, but they're lower in the totem pole of the East. They're below us.
Yeah.
My point is my expectation right now is that we hit the 4th or 5th seed. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's what I expect.
Miami is 20 and 8. Miami is 21 and 18.
Based off the way we played Brooklyn, we should be at the 4th. I don't give a damn about how the schedule looks.
Evergreen.
We just played the top offensive team in the league.
Green Evergreen.
And we
Evergreen.
them defensively.
Evergreen. Chuck's trying to tell you something.
Miami is 21 and 18.
Sorry.
Miami is 21 and 18.
Okay.
They are better than us. They beat us twice.
Oh, so they're above us right now. Okay.
Oh, Miami beat us twice. Miami
beat
us twice. Okay.
Oh, they got a better record than us too.
So 4 through 6.
All right.
So 4 through 6.
The Bucks beat us by 33 the last time we played them. 33.
Well, we beat them already as well. So what are you saying?
That was like the second game of the season.
So what? Oh my God! They beat us without Mitch,
Who was Mitch?
Really?
We went to 500 with Mitch.
Chuck, really?
All right.
Hey, so let me throw something in.
Yeah, please do. Please throw something in here.
Once, about last
Mitch, like Mitch.
Last week,
really.
Yeah,
Mitch had nothing to do. Go ahead.
So last week, people were saying on this live stream, man, y'all better watch out for the Toronto Raptors because the Toronto Raptors are red hot, right? The Raptors, they done lost 5 straight. You know what I'm saying? We're like, oh, watch out for the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat red hot. They get their players back. I mean, come on, dog. I honestly don't care about teams that are up and down. If teams are winning 5 in a row and then losing 5 in a row and then winning 5 in a row and then losing 5 in a row, I don't care nothing about them because they can't even figure themselves out. You know what I'm saying? Let alone us trying to figure out who we are. You know what I'm saying? Let's let them rock. We don't know who they are. They don't know who they are. You know what I'm saying? We worried about the Miami Heat, man. Listen, we watched the 2 games. One of them was snatched away from us where R.J. Barrett was fouled trying to lay it up at the buzzer. Yep. And the other one, the referee gave. How did you say one center?
But nobody want to see that. But nobody doesn't want to see that.
One center gets 16 free throw attempts, right, and gets 0 foul calls called on them. And they're like, but the referees didn't have an impact on the game. That's ridiculous. Yeah, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life.
Thank you.
The referees do impact the game. How do referees not impact the game when? Oh, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
If you could say, if you want to say that,
we're looking at a team. We're looking at a team that just competed last night with arguably not arguably with the top offense in the league. Right?
Without their best player.
They went from shooting like 66%.
Your best ability is your availability. How about that?
Still without their best player.
Your best ability is availability.
And we're talking about not having Mitch.
So
who haven't shot a 5-footer in 3 years.
Who is our anchor on our defense? All right.
And this is the thing.
Well, I thought that was Frank. I thought Frank was the best defender in the league.
This is the problem.
Hey, go ahead, Evergreen.
This is the problem. This is the problem with fans like Chuck. This is the problem with fans like Chuck.
Well, I gotta be
over there in denial.
Fans like Chuck think that
you're about to get a DWI.
No. This is, and I call it. No. This is the problem with fans like Chuck. This is what happens. Fans like Chuck think that the only thing that matters is the stat.
You just said 4th to 6th seed.
Realize it, and not taking into consideration, and I'm only bringing up this. Hold on. Stats. Just let me get what I'm out. Let me get what I'm saying out. Right.
Take your time.
When you look at, we'll take Frank for example. Right.
He's a bust.
Frank came in the game. Yes, he fouled out. He got 6 fouls. He fouled out, but it wasn't
more fouls than points.
To get that climb back, we didn't start to get that climb back. See, this is the Chuck. This is the Chucks. That's what I'm gonna call them. Every fan that doesn't look at the totality of the game and only looks at statistics, they're gonna be called Chucks from now on.
He totality 0 points.
We're gonna call them Chucks. Because
that was his totality, 0 points.
Yep, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna call him Chucks. Because up until Frank came into the game, we were down 13 when Frank came back into the game? And we went on the run because of the defensive attacks and the defense that Frank brought on the floor.
It wasn't just Frank though. It was him. It wasn't just Frank. It was Frank and Bullock.
It wasn't just Frank.
And Frank and Bullock and
Frank was the catalyst of that.
Okay.
Frank was the catalyst of that, right? So I'm not trying to say that Frank is the savior of the game or anything like that. All I'm saying is what certain people bring on the floor is it doesn't necessarily have to be a stat, right?
Thank you.
With that being said, what Mitchell Robinson brings on the floor defensively is what really could have made a big difference on this team. And we didn't.
Because Nerlens Noel gave us 0.
We didn't have him last night. That ability to be able to harass a driver and make a driver think twice, or make a driver say, "Oh, I got to take this floater up a little bit higher," or "I got to dish this ball off because I'm not going to be able to get to the rim." That makes a big difference, especially when players like James Harden live off the pick and roll or live off the dribble isolation, beating your man off the drive and getting into the paint. So all I'm saying is we get those back. We get Mitchell Robinson back, and we're looking at a totally different game in the paint. We're looking at a totally different game in the paint. So when I brought up the issue about Milwaukee, when we beat Milwaukee didn't have many injured players. It was the beginning of the season. When we beat Milwaukee, we didn't have injured players. It was the beginning.
They were on full strength. They were on full strength. Exactly.
Our core five. Right. This is what I'm saying. We had our core five. And
Chuck. Hey, Chuck, if they beat us by 30 both times, then you wouldn't be saying nothing. You wouldn't be saying nothing.
It was their first game of the year. First game.
It was not their first game of the year. What are you talking about?
It was their first game of the year.
Oh God.
It was their first game of the year.
How long has Milwaukee had that team? How long?
It was their first game. Plus, they played in a bubble. They played in a bubble.
Oh,
and it was
man.
their first
Yeah,
game
you see where I'm going at? You see where I'm going at, Freeze? You see where I'm going at with this
Where
league,
you
man?
going?
You see what's going on with this guy,
Yeah.
man?
Second
You're
game.
ridiculous. You're ridiculous.
What
You
happened
are
to the second
ridiculous.
game?
hey,
You
so-
are ridiculous, man.
Hey, so Chuck, let me ask you this. Chuck, let me ask you this. How come you were quick to make excuses for Milwaukee and slow to make excuses for the Knicks? That makes me wonder. Like, what are we really even doing?
What excuse?
And so the excuse is it was their first game of the year.
It was the first
And
game.
it was not.
Wait. Hey, Cat, let me.
Go ahead.
So Chuck, did they play preseason games?
They played in a bubble.
Did they play preseason
Play in a
games?
bubble?
Did they play preseason
Play in a
games?
bubble. Was
Did
there a
they play preseason games?
bubble in the season?
Hey, Freeze, this is where I'm gonna catch him. Hey, Freeze, I'm gonna catch him right here. Their first game of the season was December 23rd against the Celtics, and they lost. The next game, they blew out the Warriors on Christmas Day, and then the next day on the 27th, we beat them. We beat them by 20. So what are you saying? So what are you saying?
So what are you
saying? So I mixed you wrong now. I mixed you wrong.
Calm down for your headphones break.
Oh, whatever, man. That's the BS I'm talking about, man.
Listen.
So he probably if he wrong, he wrong in that case.
Man. But he won't admit it because he thinks he's still right. That's their first game of the season.
He probably just misspoke on that. So I ain't gonna you ain't gonna send him to the chopping block for that. But what I will say though is that, man, making excuses for other teams and then calling the Knicks crybabies is ridiculous in my opinion. Like, we can't legit make excuses for every team in the NBA.
Yeah, because fans.
Yo,
go ahead,
fans like Chuck.
Hold on. I first of all,
fans like Chuck are like the
no.
Fans like
Every
Chuck
loss,
like COINTELPRO for the Knicks.
No, this is what y'all do.
Y'all are here to secretly get in here.
Every loss is because of the referees. This is what y'all do. Every loss, y'all blame the referees, right? Every time, it's the ref's fault. Ref. Y'all don't look at the other team's missing key players, but it's always the refs. The Knicks are not good this year. It's not a good team. It's not a playoff team. We are not making the playoffs.
So
my ears, man. My ears can't take it, man. My ears can't take it.
In your opinion, this is not a playoff team.
It's not a playoff
man.
All right. So Chuck is saying, in his opinion, in his opinion, this is not a playoff team.
This is not a playoff team.
In my opinion, I say we take one step at a time. We play one game at a time. But let's not say what dinner's going to taste like before we cook the dinner, right? Right? Let's just take one step at a time, man.
And I love the chat. My man Jamie Purse says Chuck is not a Knicks fan. Bodega Wi-Fi. Chuck is not one of us. He always. Oh God, man.
I always say y'all because y'all say delusional stuff and I don't.
Oh boy.
Now y'all overrate every player and I don't, so I can't include myself in that. So when y'all say stuff about Mitch that I don't agree with, I can't include myself in that. What year is this for Mitch? Third year? Since Mitch been on the Knicks, how many years have the Knicks been in the lottery?
Good question.
Since he's the difference, Evergreen. Look, you froze up. Every time there's a good question, your Wi-Fi goes away. Now you done dropped off. You probably got a DWI, all that drunk stuff you were saying. And Cornerstone, his headphones is gone too. Now it's just you, Freezy. Now you answer the question for them.
So what I'm saying to you is this, and I feel like it's logical, right? Because listen, people's point of view is their point of view. I don't dispute people's point of view. That's ridiculous.
Okay.
Right? People's point of view is their point of view, and their opinions are their opinions.
Okay.
They have a right to have an opinion.
Facts.
So
Facts.
you know what I'm saying? So I don't dispute none of that stuff. What I'm saying is that just because we don't agree, doesn't mean that I'm dumb.
Oh no,
right?
nobody say that.
Right? Or no, hear me out. Or if you don't agree with me, that you're dumb, right? That's not what I'm saying. Now, there are things that are said, in my opinion, that are said, and there's a lack of consistency. Like I'll give you an example. Right, what you said about the Milwaukee Bucks, the first game of the season thing don't bother me. That don't bother me because that's months ago, right? You know what I'm saying? We don't, nobody's perfect when it comes to it. What I'm saying though is if we can't make excuses for, like, say, teams not having such and such player and such thing happened and such happened. That's the reason why they lost to the Knicks. And then when the Knicks lose to a team, we say, oh, the Knicks just sorry. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's just inconsistent, right? Like legit. If we play it, like I use the Oklahoma City Thunder as an example. Then when we played them, they didn't have SGA, and they didn't have Hamidou Diallo, he's better. He's kind of a difference maker, but not really, right? But what I'm saying is when we didn't have D Rose, Alfred Payton, Mitchell Robinson, and we lost to a team, and I say that, you'll say that the roster is whack, we suck, we're not a playoff team. You understand where I draw the inconsistencies at?
Well, I'll only say it when they're missing their best player. Like SGA is their best player. Like with Houston, Wood is their best player. I don't consider Rose or Mitch the Knicks' best player. If the Knicks was missing Randall, I get it. Washington was missing Beal.
Right.
Their best player.
Right.
So when a team is missing their best player, or even their second best player, then I'll make that case. But Mitch, no. We suck with Mitch. We was under 500 with Mitch. Mitch is not the difference to me. Mitch is not the difference maker. Mitch, we've been in a lottery with Mitch every year. Mitch is not that difference maker to me. He might be the so-called anchor of the defense, but we still suck with him. We was under 500 with Mitch before he got hurt.
Right.
We went over 500 after he got hurt.
Right. So that is a coincidence, in my opinion, because what also happened is you saw RJ Barrett get better shooting the ball. Right. You remember we had the RJ Barrett as a small forward conversation. Remember that? Remember we had the Emmanuel Quickley as a shooting guard conversation.
Facts.
And so with Emmanuel Quickley getting minutes at point guard and RJ Barrett getting minutes at the two, you saw the team. I'm not going to say get better. I'll say get more consistent. You know what I'm saying?
I think the offense looked bad with Quickley at point guard.
Yeah, I agree.
He do not distribute at all. He took the first shot of the game.
So distribute how? Okay, because here's the thing.
He don't look to pass. Like he's a nut. He's looking for his shot first, second, and third. Like
so here's the thing though. Did you know? Did you know that Emmanuel Quickley was second on the Knicks in passes? Did you know that? That's a stat. That's a stat.
Well,
Right, like legit. Emmanuel Quickley is second on the Knicks in passes behind Julius Randle.
all right.
Right,
That's a flawed stat because he's bringing the ball up. So by default, he's passing the ball, but he's not passing for assists. He's getting rid of the ball in a motion offense. So he's not setting up the offense. He's just passing the ball because he's the one that's bringing it up. So that's by default.
I think the way you're looking at that, Chuck, the way you're looking at that, like, you're not looking at it in the principles of basketball, thinking about the basic, like the purpose. What is the purpose of a pass? This is when you get down to the principle of basketball. So I'm gonna ask you, Chuck, what is the purpose of a pass?
No, let me ask you this. It's Quickley.
See, this is what I'm saying, man. You
No,
a simple question, and they try to flip it before you get answered.
No, because I don't want you to be too wrong. No, I'm gonna let you be a little wrong, but I don't want you to be too wrong, right?
How am I wrong? And I'm asking you the question, Chuck. What are we doing here? I'm asking the question because I'm trying to figure something out. What's the purpose of the pass?
No, because I'm gonna help you because I know where you're going, and it's about to be all too left. So I'm gonna keep you from going too left.
When you talk to Chuck, this is what they do. You ask him a simple question that requires a simple answer, and they try to reframe your question for you so that they can try to make you understand what they don't even know where I'm going yet. Chuck, come on, bro. Be real. What is the purpose of a pass? Whatever answer you give, I'll take it. I just want to know from your perspective, what's the purpose of a pass?
What kind of pass are you talking about?
Bro, a pass. A pass is when the ball leaves one player's hands and it goes to another. What is the purpose of a pass?
To move the ball. What do you mean? The purpose of a pass.
Okay, great. So if the purpose of the pass is to move the ball, right? And Emmanuel Quickley is, what do you say, Freezer? You say he's number 2 on the team in passes?
Yeah, and passes, bro. And passes. And passes.
So whether he brings the ball up or not is irrelevant. That's the hard stat that is being displayed. Hear me out. That's the hard stat that's being displayed.
I'm gonna see if I can find the order.
He's not the only player that brings the ball up. He's not even the primary player that brings the ball up. Remember, he was coming off the bench. He was starting with Derrick Rose, who was the primary player to bring the ball up. Up until these last few games, or this one game that he started, now he's bringing the ball up. So whether you decided to make it and throw in the asterisk of he's the point guard who brings the ball up, first off, he's not the point guard. He might have played point guard today or yesterday, but he's not the point guard. He's been playing the 2. We know this. This is nothing new. He's been playing the 2. He's an additional ball distributor. He's an additional ball handler, but he's not the primary guy bringing the ball up and passing the ball.
I see you.
Even in fast breaks, he's not the guy. It's
Juju
and
I'm gonna bring in
point guard we got.
I'm gonna bring in one of my personal friends right now. One of my homeboys. He used to be a baller when he was younger. I don't know what he's doing right now. Hey, what's up, big dog?
Yo.
What kind of mask is that you got on?
You said
Lakers.
Oh my God. Yeah, man. I'm about to. When I saw it, I almost vomited in my mouth. But you know, this is a Knicks channel, right? You know, this is a Knicks channel, by the way. I'm just saying. Yo, this is hey, y'all. This is my man, Reem Raw. Hey, what's good, man? How you doing?
Feeling, bro.
Hey, how those 2K skills?
You know, I'm still giving out lessons.
Hey, so one of these days, when you get some time for some else, I've been working. You know, these thumbs are blessed by God. You know that, right?
You want to tell them what happened the last time you said that?
Hey, I had a glitch. My internet was down. My internet was down. Hey, so I wanted. You got both of the things. You got YouTube. You got YouTube and
Huh?
you have StreamYard. You have StreamYard and
I don't know. Hold on. No, it just says StreamYard.
Yeah, there's an echo. Let me
Here.
try to. Yeah. And it's coming from your end. So let me
Leave and come back.
Okay.
Do you
Yeah.
you
That's
have the highest usage rate on the team?
Huh?
The highest usage rate on the team.
Hold on. Is that me with the echo? That's me with the echo. Hold on. Let me jump out and then come back in.
Wow.
How about that?
Yep.
You hear echo now?
Nope.
Okay.
You had me leave. It wasn't me.
Yeah, I'm not bad. It was me. It was StreamYard. I don't know. That was weird. It was mad glitchy just now. Yo, so I wanted to have everybody. This is my main man, Reed, man. He know a lot about NBA basketball. I wanted to kind of bring him in, and have him talk to some of these talking points that we're talking about. So Reed, so this is first of all, this is a Knicks channel. So don't get on here talking mad greasy about how your Lakers won a championship and all that stuff. Show us some respect so we can put some respect on y'all name.
That's pointless to do that.
Oh, see what I mean? See, he getting greasy already. Okay. So let me ask you this, because me and my man Chuck B is having a discussion about our point guard of the future, right? Emmanuel Quickley.
It's not a point.
Right? We call the RJ Barrett Emmanuel Quickley splash and dash, right? Splash and dash.
I like them.
Right.
I like them.
Right. And so my main man Chuck B says that Emmanuel Quickley has the highest usage rate per minutes played on the Knicks roster, and he's absolutely right. Right.
I agree with that.
And so, what my man is saying is that Emmanuel Quickley is not a true NBA facilitator at this point in his career. Right.
I agree with that too.
So none of us dispute that, right? But what we can dispute is this: there is not a prototype for the current NBA point guard, because they come in all shapes and sizes. Like our starting point guard, Elfrid Payton, is an all-around point guard, right? All around. He can't shoot worth nothing, right? But he'll rebound, play defense, he'll assist, right? And then you have downhill point guards. Their whole thing. Your Russell Westbrooks. Well, I guess he's more all around. He's a combination of getting downhill and being all around. And then you have your Damian Lillard, your Steph Curry, who are more shoot first 3-point snipers than they are point guards that get to the basket and facilitate. Right.
So a lot of them are, so your D Lil, your Steph, a lot of them do it because they have to, if say to speak. So basically, when they built that team, when Steph was over there in Golden State, they built it around Monte Ellis. It was built around the guard. So once Steph came into the fold, Monte, bowed out or whatever, he had to do it. He didn't have a lot of options that could score like that.
Right.
So these are guards. And same thing with Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard in Portland. He's on a team. Now he has CJ McCollum, but remember, he was on the team before CJ. He had to score. His only option was LaMarcus Aldridge.
Right.
Michael Roy was already gone.
Right. And I'm here to tell you, so that Portland team did have weapons, but they were inconsistent weapons, because they had your Rudy Fernandez. They had your Nicholas Batums. You know what I'm saying? So they had and your Travis Outlaws. You know what I'm saying? So they had guys that could show up any given night, but not every night. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And so the other thing too, I want to express to Chuck B. And so Chuck B is a real smart dude, man. And so he do real sharp and he know his basketball. That's why cats come after him all the time. Because it's like that game beat Shazam. If you can beat Chuck B, then you somebody, right? But the thing is with I'm trying to get Chuck B to understand is Damian Lillard didn't just show up as a score first point guard, right?
Exactly.
Steph Curry didn't show up as a score first point guard. As a matter of fact, I remember LaMarcus Aldridge used to be so mad at Damian Lillard that he could choke him out in the huddle because
he wasn't taking shots.
Right. Because LaMarcus Aldridge would legit have a mismatch. A dude 6'11" would have a dude 6'4" sealed in front of the rim, waiting on an entry pass, and Damian Lillard couldn't throw entry passes. Right? That was the knock on him. How can you not get LaMarcus Aldridge the ball? Right? How could you miss a dude 7 foot tall with his arms stretched out? And it was so frustrating that the first opportunity my man got to leave, guess what happened? My man was gone. All because of the point guard not being able to get the ball to an all-star big man, right? And we all knew LaMarcus Aldridge can shoot. He had a sweet stroke. He rebounded at a decent rate. He was excellent at fundamentals around the basket. But Damian Lillard could not get him the basketball. So when
LaMarcus was Portland's Tim Duncan, man. Like, he had a soft shot. He could finish, like you said, all fundamentals. But, you know, for whatever reason, the chemistry just wouldn't click.
Right. Damian Lillard was flawed as a point guard. When he came in, people were like, I don't know if you can keep him here, because if he can't feed your all-star and he can't defend, why keep him at the position? But you know what kept him at point guard? Shooting. The man can flat out shoot it and score, right?
Yeah.
And so I'll draw the parallel to Emmanuel Quickley, and people were like, nah, they're not the same, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So they're like, well, my guy, Damian Lillard, he played point guard in college. Oh, really? He played point guard in college, right? Did he play point guard at a high level in college? Did he play at UCLA? Did he play at Kentucky? Did he play point guard at Duke or North Carolina? Did he play point guard at Connecticut? No. He played point guard at Weber State against lesser competition. Right? People are like, well, he came in as a point guard. Really? My man's rivalry in college was against Portland State. That was their rival. Damian Lillard cut his chops in big games against Portland State. You know what I'm saying? So, because when he got drafted, he was like, "Oh, I know where Portland is," because Portland State was our rival, right? What I'm saying is to Chuck B. What I'm saying to Chuck B is, dog, you have to be patient with these dudes. You can't look at them in their first 82 games and draw out what their legacy is going to be over their career. You have to give them time.
That's a big fact, man, because I had somebody, we was just talking about this on Monday, because I still ball at the church gym on Mondays and stuff like that. And they was talking about
beating up on old man. You beating up on old man still?
No, man, it's actually good competition. It's I want to say the age range is from like college 20 years old to about 40 right now. So it's good competition.
So Evergreen
TV,
this dude we talking to, Reem, right? He reminded me of Melo when we used to play in the Industrial League, right? We used to play in this league back in the day, right? And no lie, so I was waiting on my game. Reem, I'm gonna tell this story real quick. It's embarrassing on my part, right? It's embarrassing on my part, right? So my man is like giving this team the business right in front of I show up. It's like late in the first half, he giving them the business in this middle school gym, right? Giving them the business, just like I don't even remember. Man, it's like 15 years ago almost, right? He giving somebody the business, right? And so I'm like, hey, when we play them, you better not try that on me. right? He better not. You know, I can't stand light skinned jokers. Light skinned jokers, I hear me trying to shine. Hey, I'm not letting nobody light skinned shine on me, right? So anyway, we play the next game.
Light skin.
Yeah. Chuck B better not come to the hole. Chuck B, I'm a big dude. You better not come to the hole with some mess trying to shine on me. You better be trying to dunk on me, Chuck B. I'm telling you, I'm giving you the business. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we finally get to play them, right? And my man, no lie. So it's like this weird 2-on-2 fast break. And how did a 2-on-2 fast break? It's weird, right? So they give this dude the ball, and this dude like puts the move on this one dude and goes to the hole and finger roll. And I look at my homeboy, I'm like, yep, I'm about to foul the hell out this dude first chance I get. Right. And so we I got because listen, I'm telling y'all what like I'm just be straight up with y'all. I'm playing 10 minutes and I'm using all my fouls, and I'm gonna take my shoes off and I'm gonna sit on the bench. This was my mindset back then, right? Right, I'm legit Kelly Olynyk, right? I'm legit. Who can you come? I'm not even Taj Gibson. I wasn't even Taj Gibson.
Joel Anthony.
Yeah. I'm a legit Joel Anthony, right? I'm a legit come in and play 10 minutes, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Go outside and smoke me a Newport. Use all my fouls. You know what I'm saying? So Reem comes to the hole and he see me, right? And he's like, "Oh, I got big fella," right?
Yeah.
And what he don't know is I was setting him up. I was like, I hope he think he got the lane right here. And Reem was like, "Hey, I got the lane right here." Yo, he goes up, man. I hit this dude in midair like so hard I hurt myself. Right? And I see Reem, you know the pads on the back wall they put back there for people to run into. Reem hit the back. Boom! I roll up off the floor, and I look, and my man just like strolling to the free throw line. Like he thought, like he knew this was coming. I'm like, don't tell me I gotta foul this dude again. I gotta let him know I'm crazy. I gotta let him know. But anyway, I just wanted to tell that story, man. My dude was a great scorer, man. He's real knowledgeable about basketball, y'all. I wanted to introduce him to the Lawrence Tears family. Reem, we do this every day. Twice a day.
Okay.
Live stream in the morning from 8:45 ish, because I usually leave work about 6:45, 7:15, something like that, and jump on like 8:45 a.m. every day, and then we do it again at 11:45 at night, where we just legit get on here and talk basketball. So I wanted to kind of put some creamer in the coffee with some different Knicks perspective. So for everybody in the chat, man, I just wanted to introduce my man Reem. He swears he's legit a 2K god. I'm here to tell you, if y'all play 2K, y'all gonna have to look my man up. Maybe we'll get him to drop his.
I'll make a channel.
Okay. All right.
Well, I'll tell you what. I won't use the Knicks versus the Lakers, but let me hear Chuck himself. Let me rebuttal that Lillard point you had.
Good, because I have a rebut to your rebut already.
Okay. Okay. You said give him time, right? Lillard first year he averaged 6 assists.
Right.
That means he was passing that rock. He was distributing. Quickley probably had 2 games over 6 assists so far. 2. He averaged 2 assists a game. Two of them. 2 of them. And his assists are not breaking down the defense and creating. His assists are guys popping out and him hitting them for jump shots. So he's not creating the assists. The assists are being created for him. He are getting what I call Frank assists. Frank get those same kind of assists. He's not breaking down the defense. Those assists are coming to him.
I love it. Dog. I love it. So Chuck, this is what I call the trap.
He has no point guard instincts. I'm gonna give you more. I'm gonna give you more. He has no point guard instincts. His
Evergreen G, I set him up
first
for the trap.
option.
And not only did he fall for it, he is taking a nap.
Yeah,
I saw
yeah.
what you did.
I'm gonna dig
It's kind
deeper.
of what I was. Listen, it's kind of what I was trying to do a little bit earlier. But,
All right,
you know,
all right. So let me
Chuck
give you
do-
more, so I can set a
what
trap
Chuck
up for
do-
you.
What Chuck
Come
do, they
on.
answer your question.
Come on.
Yeah.
They assume your question for you.
Hold
Right?
up.
This is what Chuck type fans do. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Dig yourself in your own grave. Go ahead. I'll wait. Keep going.
No point guard instinct at all. He thinks to shoot first, second, and third.
Right.
He passed when there's no other option, and he don't even want to pass. And when he passed, he won it back.
Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, he is a gunner.
Right. So Chuck B. So Chuck B.
So for you to have him at the point guard, you're gonna suffer. He looks player off.
And what was Allen Iverson?
What are you talking about?
What was Dame Lillard?
What are you
see what I'm saying, Evergreen? And what's up, Green the plug? How you feeling, man?
What do they have to do with him? I'm breaking down one player.
You breaking down like that's a problem of what he's doing.
No. What I'm doing is I'm calling him a combo guard. That's what I'm doing.
So what? He's a combo guard.
Right.
You even complain about his photo.
Calm down. No.
I'm calm. You even complained about his photo. You complained about his photo. See, I'm not going to fall for his photo. I'm not going to fall for it.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Wait. My point is because y'all keep using the word point guard. So I'm erasing that for you. It's not a point guard. It's not a knock. It's not a knock.
Is Cole Anthony a point guard?
He's a combo guard.
Is Cole Anthony a point guard?
I can get that.
Matter what
I
Cole
can get
Anthony
that.
is.
Because that's the same. I'm gonna tell you the only reason why I can get that, and this also, piggybacking off of what Kev said. Allen Iverson came in as a point guard, but he wasn't a point guard. He was a two guard. Which why when Eric Snow came, they moved Allen Iverson to two guard. So I could kind of get what Chuck is saying that he's more.
Who remembers Eric Snow? What type of NBA fan remembers Eric Snow? Who remembers Eric Snow?
Hey, you remember Allen Iverson? You got to remember his teammates.
Hey, only dudes that live and breathe basketball remember Eric Snow. You know what I'm saying? Only dudes that take the things. Right.
Hey,
right.
because of him. It's because of Eric Snow. They made it to the finals.
Wow.
But you see how he you see how he reacted to that?
That's a fact.
How he reacted to
When
that?
Iverson was at point guard, did they make it to the finals?
No.
That's blasphemous.
I'm not saying Iverson ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm just saying when they put a point guard in the position to run point, they went to the finals.
But they got a big point guard too, so their backcourt wouldn't be small. They went out and got who's the other guy? They had another guy that played point for them too. I can't remember his name because everything Philadelphia sucks, so I can't remember his name.
I told you I'm not a fan. I'm from there, but I'm not a fan.
Oh, I forgot you was from Philly. We played Philly tonight.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I mean, I'm not a fan. I'm from Philly, but I like all the Philadelphia teams except the Sixers, bro.
Hey man, hey man, I feel you on that. And I'm a Knicks fan from early 70s. Like the day Clyde Frazier got traded, my third grade teacher came into class and put his cigarette out and slammed the Daily News on the desk. And back then, teachers used to have no metal desk. And so I was like, Mr. Williams, what's wrong with you? He was like, Uncle Freezy, go sit your behind down. I ain't got time for this today. Go draw them stick people or whatever it is y'all little kids do. But don't come at me today with that mess. And he told me Clyde Frazier got traded, and I cried in school. Me and my homeboys. Yeah, man. So here's the thing that I set Chuck up for, and Chuck, I'm sorry for using you as a guinea pig, right?
Well, please try.
No, you fell into the trap. You fell into it.
Bring it.
So the thing about Damian Lillard is the reason why his assist totals were so high is because he already had an all-star on his roster and the team was already a playoff team when he got there.
You had to get him the ball.
Right. So what I'm saying, what I'm telling you is the caliber of roster that Damian Lillard walked into was different than the caliber of roster that. So for instance, Rudy Fernandez, LaMarcus Aldridge, Nicholas Batum in their prime is definitely different from Frank Ntilikina, Reggie Bullock, and Alec Burks.
Is Randall an all-star or no?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Was LaMarcus Aldridge already an all-star or no?
Yes, he was established.
Okay.
Yes.
No, he's playing with an all-star. He's playing with. What do you mean already? He's playing with an all-star.
No. What
do you mean? No.
The point is
Quickly playing with an all-star.
And they play the same position. What he missed though is when I said Nicholas Batum, when I said Rudy Fernandez, when I said Travis Outlaw,
right,
and when I said they were already a playoff caliber team. And I compared them to the Knicks. He didn't catch me comparing them to the Knicks. The Knicks is not a playoff caliber team, and how I know that is because 30 minutes ago Chuck B said we're not. So I'm using Chuck B as the source to say we're not a playoff team. Chuck B, did you not say this team is not a playoff team?
I said that. You said they was.
Right. But he's just using your logic against.
Yeah, I'm using Chuck B as the source.
You just
no, you can't. If
like Alec Burks.
I'm not allowed to trust your judgment.
You said they were already.
You're not allowed to backpedal on the things that you said.
Right.
That's what he's telling you. You're backpedaling.
He said,
"Don't backpedal when you said it." No, you're backpedaling.
Bro,
no.
What he's doing is this is what he's doing. What he's saying,
are your words right?
He's using all of the information that you put forth.
Right.
He's adding in his logical information and analysis about Damian Lillard, but he's using your information that you put forth. You just said that you said earlier that the Knicks are not a playoff team, right? But he's telling you that the Portland Trailblazers were a playoff team before Damian Lillard got there.
A playoff caliber team.
A playoff caliber. No, they were a playoff team. They were
playoff team. Playoff caliber is the same thing.
Team.
Okay. All right.
Right.
All right. So let me say this: Julius Randle. Y'all say he's an all-star.
Yeah. All right. Portland was 33 and 49. His rookie year.
Is Julius Randle an all-star? Is what I want to know.
Time out. 33 and 49. Lillard's rookie year.
I want to know if Julius Randle's an all-star.
I already got them on that. They were 33 and 49. How was that playoff caliber?
Did they make the playoffs? Yes or no?
33 and 49.
No, they missed the playoffs the year before Lillard got there. That's how come they were drafted in the top 10. And then Damian Lillard ran them in the ground and ran off LaMarcus Aldridge. And then they started making the playoffs.
So I'll stand corrected on that. Gladly.
So is it fair to say Julius Randle is not an all-star?
Julius Randle is an all-star. Julius Randle is.
This was his first appearance.
So what?
So he's an all.
How is he an all-star?
Because he made the team. Kevin Durant chose him.
That's like you gotta pick somebody because somebody else ain't there. He's not an all-star, bro.
Hey,
no, we're not doing that.
The coaches selected him.
He's not an all-star.
We're not doing that. He's not
an all-star.
Who?
How long he been in the league?
Who at the power forward position are you picking?
Evergreen. You know, Reed was there.
There's a lot of people you could pick.
So Reed was there. His team drafted Julius Randle.
Who?
So he's better towards Randle.
Of course.
Randle.
Pick, man. Julius Randle's not an all-star.
No. I got you. You're saying Julius Randle's not an all-star, and I'll accept that for now. Who are you putting over him that makes the all-star game? Who?
A lot of people.
Okay, but name them.
Anthony Davis. Wait a minute. Anthony Davis can't go because he was
hurt.
Okay,
so again. I'm sorry.
Who?
Hold on, I'm gonna call you.
Okay.
Give me a name. Are you like?
Hey, so now he's multitasking. So he got it. Yeah. He doing the same thing Cornerstone Cavs doing. So to Chuck's point about Quickley and Damian Lillard, he said Damian Lillard averaged 6 assists.
Mhm.
But Chuck B, their roster was established, dog. What I'm telling you, they had established players on their team, and you're telling me that Reggie Bullock, Alec Burks,
All right, can you hear me?
yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're telling me that these rosters are similar, so they should get similar results.
No, I didn't say they were similar.
Okay, I just wanted to hear you backtrack openly because I knew you were backtracking as soon as you said it. I just wanted to hear you say it out loud.
No.
So here's the other thing too. So we take these small school point guards, right? These dudes that go to small schools, they play point guard for their school. They come to the NBA as shoot first guys, and you say that they're point guards, but then Emmanuel Quickley plays in a tough conference at a blue blood, right? And does not play point guard, and you say that he's not a point guard.
For one, Lillard was the second leading scorer on his team.
Which team? You got to clarify.
His rookie year.
Oh, so you're talking about Portland. You're not talking about Weber State.
No, Portland.
Okay.
I'm not talking about college. When he came in averaging 6 assists, he was the second leading scorer on that team.
Right. And okay.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Right.
Nice.
Right.
Now,
so Chuck, that means
so how great was his team if he was the second leading scorer his rookie year?
Or could it be how great was he as a rookie playing in the West?
Right.
See, this is what Chucks do. They always
this is not what Chucks do. This is not what Chuck do. And he still averaged six assists. Quickley is not a point guard.
Okay.
Period.
Okay.
Period.
I think you're wrong, Chuck B.
I'm not arguing that point.
Okay.
I'm arguing it because
I don't think he's wrong. I don't think that we're able to judge right now whether Quickley is a point guard.
Really?
No, I'm not ready to judge that right now.
Right.
What more do you need to see?
I'm not saying
him not pass even more.
No.
He can't not pass more. He can't. He can't be more shoot first than he is. Like,
again, he shoot first because that's what Tibbs is giving him.
No, he shoot first because that's his mentality. What do you mean that's what Tibbs is giving him? Tibbs is giving everybody the green light, but some people pass.
Does Emmanuel Quickley have the green light to shoot? Yes or no?
Do RJ?
Bro,
Yeah.
see, this is what they do.
No, because you got to make sense. Do RJ
light to shoot? Yes.
Do RJ have the green light to shoot? Yes or no?
Bro, you can't answer a question with a question.
I sure can. Do RJ
and literally and circular logically impossible?
Do RJ have the green light to shoot?
Does Emmanuel Quickley have a green light to shoot? Yes or no?
Do RJ?
See, this is what they do. I want the whole world, everybody from the Blowers Tears Network.
Do RJ?
Try to all see what happened.
The whole team got the green light.
Man is in the building.
Whenever
the whole team.
A simple.
What's good, Granddaddy?
Man,
point about something. This is
Because
what
the whole
they
team
do.
got the green light.
They
you always
deflect.
calling you, right?
They deflect. That's what.
Hey,
that's exactly what
you know
happens.
I called you, right?
The whole team
hey,
got the
please, I
green
called
light.
you back, man. You
Oh,
didn't
I
pick up.
I
Yeah,
missed
I called you back on Sunday.
So if the whole team has the green light,
Yes.
okay, so Nerlens Noel has the green light to shoot jumpers.
Yes.
You're crazy.
Everybody yes. Randall got the green light.
That's hogwash.
Oh, Randall got the green light. He lead the team in assists.
That
What we
Nerlens
doing?
Noel,
What we
Mitchell
doing?
Robinson has the green light to shoot.
Yes.
I'm telling.
You just can't shoot.
You can't
I'm
make
schooling
this up.
Chuck. I'm schooling Chuck in his Emmanuel.
No, you're not
Quickley
schooling Chuck.
point guard
You can't
conversation.
make this up.
But
can't
I'm
shoot.
allowing him to decimate himself
Yeah, you
instead
can't
of
make
me
this up,
doing the
Big
dirty
Fans.
work.
This is
Hold
not
up. Do
me.
Peyton got the green light to shoot? Do Peyton
This
got
is
the green
not
light
me.
to shoot?
Yes.
Peyton
Yes.
has the green light to shoot.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So who don't? And he's one of the worst shooters. What are you telling me?
Alfred Payton has the green light to go.
To shoot.
To
He shoot.
go.
To shoot.
Because
Period.
if if Elfrid Payton missed 5 jumpers in a row like he does, he's getting pulled.
No,
that
he's
happens
not.
often.
He needs to be pulled.
But he won't.
Yeah, he need to be. Yeah, he need to be pulled.
So
You think he's counting them, or if I miss another one, he got the green. They all got the green light.
Elfrid Payton needs to be pulled by an alien spaceship and taken to another galaxy. Elfrid, every time, and I say this a lot. I say every time Elfrid Payton shoots a jump shot, a broken backboard goes to heaven.
Do we see Todd Gibson shooting threes? Yes or no?
Every now and then.
That's green. He got the green light. There's no restrictions, man. There's no restrictions. There is no restrictions.
All right, Chuck. I heard you calling my name. I was trying to exercise, man. I heard you saying something, but I'm somewhere grieving. Never that, man. I say what I say, and I mean what I say. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Some of them Nets fans, they be coming at me. Hey, I welcome it because hey, I'm gonna stay. Anything I put out in the air, I'm gonna say I said it. All right, hey, that's what a man do. A man admit what they say. A man admit when they're wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean? A man admit when they're right. You give people their flowers. You give them their thorns if they need them. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm gonna tell you what. And if you look at the title of my show, I said the Knicks versus the machine against the team.
Right.
The machine is that New Jersey. Boy, I keep calling New Jersey. The Brooklyn Nets.
New Jersey. You got it right.
You know, because I'm so used to that. You know what I mean? And it ain't no disrespect. It's just what it is, man. I always remember them as being in New Jersey. But anyway,
New Jersey still.
Yeah, the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets is a machine offensively. But I'm gonna tell you this: they're not winning no championship, Chuck.
They will.
They will not win a championship. They can't play defense. You struggle with a team with us that don't have consistent shooting, and that's the reason why we lost that game last night. The New York Knicks were shooting 30-something%, and them guys were shooting 73%, and we still had a chance to win that game.
Healthy
kid. And we were missing 3 starters, right? 3 role players, right?
Missing,
they ain't even really that good.
Missing our man. I'm here to tell you, if Derrick Rose would have played last night, we win that game.
I'm here to tell you, if KD would have played, they still would have lost.
No, that team looked totally different without KD. I'm telling you. Watch when he come back. Watch how they look. And that's not to take nothing away from KD. He's a great ball player.
Right.
But they won't play the way they're playing right now when KD come back.
Right.
You can book that. I said it. March 16, 2021, 11:22 a.m. They won't play the same way. They won't be that efficient.
Hey, and so Brian, I'm trying to
because a lot of them guys are getting touches right now. They ain't gonna get it when KD.
They ain't getting touches, right? Jeff
they ain't gonna get it when KD come back.
You think Jeff Green getting all those touches when KD come back?
Joe Harris, no.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So we looking at
hold up. When KD was playing, Harden was still having them triple doubles. Those assists was going to everybody.
How was the offense looking in with KD?
The same.
What kind of win streak they was on when KD was there? They were losing games when KD was there, right?
They lost.
Still winning.
Right.
They lost to Detroit twice.
Were they when they
the
lost
worst team in the league?
Twice?
They were still.
Hey Ron, I'm gonna introduce you to somebody. Ron, I want to introduce.
Yeah, I heard your conversation when you talked. You followed the man the way you did. I was on my bike, man. You made me stop on my elliptical, man. I was cracking up.
Hey, so I ain't gonna lie to you. So with Reem, for some reason, like with me, I I'm open to to new friends and all that stuff, but I don't attach easily to people, right? So I have this thing like the first time me and Ron Cleveland, matter of fact, the first time me and Chuck B spoke, right? I attached quickly to Chuck B, right? I feel like Chuck B is my friend. I sincerely and genuinely care about Chuck B, right? But we was in a Twitter thread with 50 people, right? So when Chuck B would say something, everybody be all over Chuck B, and I felt like I had to come in and say something with you know what I'm saying? And every now and then he'll come to my defense by saying something like, "Hey, Uncle Freezy, you stupid." So in Chuck B's world, that was a compliment. At least I took it that way. You know what I'm saying? So the first time I met Reem, Man, I had this set of twins, right? The twins was Reem, the twins is grown now, dog. By the
Man,
way.
I was gonna ask.
Yeah, they grown, man. These jokers got cars and all kind of. It's crazy. So anyway, the first time I met Reem, he stepped out on the court. He fresh. He got the fresh new basketball kicks and stuff. Uniform, you know what I'm saying? Super dope.
Were they the Dr. J's? Remember the Dr. J's?
Nah. Reem probably had the mellows or something.
Okay.
So this is like 2000, maybe this is like 2000. So
okay, yeah.
So he might have
like trying to put you in some Chuck Taylors, man. the shoes with no ankle support.
Tell man.
It may as well be some women
too.
It may as well be a pair of them women flats. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, you may as well be playing in D-Bowls, dog. You may as well be playing in house shoes. You know what I'm saying?
But I'll tell you, hey Ron, one of my other uncles, when I played ball when I was young, and he wore those, he beat my tail, man.
You couldn't Chuck
Taylors.
Cornerstone, it wasn't the shoes, man.
It damn sure wasn't. You terrible.
It wasn't the shoes.
Hey,
what you say, Chuck? Oh man.
So I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't even gonna hold you. My Uncle Leon beat me. Uncle Leon was like, I was young, man. This is like 70. This is like maybe like 84. I was like 6 foot tall. It's like 80, 83, 85. I was like 6'1" something. And with my uncle, he was an ex-Marine. Excuse me, he was 6'7". Or it felt like that, right? After church, he get out the car. He had a Lincoln Mark IV. They was sweet, boy. It was navy blue.
I remember them.
It was navy blue with the sky blue interior, the crushed velvet interior, and he had the fuzzy dice in the mirror, man. The Playboy knobs. You know what I'm saying?
They don't know. They don't know.
Against the white walls.
They don't know.
White walls clean, boy.
But anyway,
yeah. So he get out the car. And the basketball, we out there playing the basketball, roll up to the car. And I'm like, hey, old man, give me the ball. And he like, who are you talking to, Uncle Freezy? Talking to you. Give me the ball, old man, before you hurt yourself. Like, don't make me come out there.
Don't do that, man.
And so Unc must have had on a 4-piece suit, right? Because he took off a jacket and there was another jacket underneath. And then he took off another jacket and it was a vest. You know what I'm saying? When and remember the dress shirt, you had the ruffles down the middle. You know what I'm saying? He thought he was clean, but he was clean, boy. So he come out there with his stack heel shoes on. So this must have been like 82. He come out there with them stack heel shoes on. I was like, I know you ain't stepping on this basketball court with those stack heel shoes on. He was like, hey nephew, I'm about to take you to school. They call me the bus driver, Jack. That's how we used to talk back in the day for people that don't know. You know what I'm saying?
They don't know.
I'm about to take you to school, boy. I'm the bus driver, Jack. And so I'm like, okay. You gonna? I'm like, yo, I hope y'all know how to drive. Because when this old man turned his ankle, we got to take him straight to the emergency room, right? So he take his cigarette and put it down. And it took him a minute to put his cigarette down. That cigarette, I swear to God, was about as long as your forearm.
Hey, was it
Virginia Slim?
Hey, was it? Yeah. I was gonna say the same thing. I was gonna say the Newport of Coles.
The 100.
That cigarette down, it was a motion. It was a motion he did to put that thing down. It was like a tree was falling in the forest when he put that cigarette down. Man, that joker, and so I was about 6 foot. No, I was about 6 foot, about 6 foot tall, about 108, about 109, maybe at 110. If I ate that day, I might have been 110 pounds, right? That joker took me in the post and kept elbowing me, but I couldn't go nowhere. I was stuck on his hip. No matter where I went, I was stuck. And he elbowed me in my throat. He elbowed me in the middle of my chest. I swear to God, I didn't know what a solar plexus was until after that. He elbowed me in the middle of my chest. I fell on the ground and I couldn't breathe. I was looking up at the sky. I was like, oh my God, I'm about to die. And he's like, Uncle Freezy, get your skinny behind up. You ain't about to die. I just knocked the wind out you, Uncle Freezy. You talking that noise? Yeah. And I was like, oh, how you gonna do that to me? And in my mind, I was like, I'm gonna kill you. You know what I'm saying? But I was a little shorty, right? So he gets the ball back, and he's 6'7" now, and can jump. That's one thing I knew my man could jump. So he jumps, looks in the rim, and flicks it, like finger rolls the ball about 50 foot in the air. And I'm looking at the ball. I'm like, I know this ain't about to do what I think it's about to do. Come straight down through the metal chains. I'm like, why you ain't dunk?
Metal chains.
Yeah. I'm like, why you ain't dunk? He was like, man, I'm a baller, baby. I don't dunk. I finger roll. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh man. So
Iceman.
Yeah, it's okay. When Kevin, you said that, hey, man, listen. I know exactly what you mean. I know, but anyways. So chat. I didn't ignore y'all. I wanted to introduce y'all to my homeboy, man, Reem Raw, man. He know a lot about basketball, and he will give y'all the work on that 2K if you want some. I mean, unfortunately he can't beat me, but if he keep at it, if he keep grinding away, he'll be somebody someday. But he won't be Uncle Freezy.
What did Kenny Rogers' song used to say? What was that lyric? You got to know when to hold him, know when to fold him, know when to walk away, know when to run. Yeah, I don't mess with that 2K, man.
Yeah, 2K, where's that, man? 2K, hey, I stopped playing Madden because of 2K.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I used to try to do Madden. That, you know, I mean, I was cool with Madden, but it was like, it's my youngsters. I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing it.
Back in my gambling days, I made a lot of money on Madden.
Oh, you did, really?
You know what I mean? I let Madden go, man. Madden
in the Barrett.
After that year with Ricky.
Yeah.
When they had Ricky Williams on the cover, I made a lot of money.
Yeah,
Play
so Ron,
Hail Mary.
Yeah. Yes. So Ron, I got to use one of your lines from last night that you always say from last night's game. Talk about it.
You want me to talk about that game last night?
Before you talk about it, when did the Pistons beat the Nets twice?
I know they beat them one time.
Okay.
They had them on the rope for the second one. Oh, okay. I know they definitely won the first game.
All right, let me.
First off, why do you have to explain anything to this guy? This guy said our first game. This guy said our first game. Our first game was against
a question demands an answer, man. A question demands an answer. You know what I mean? It's all good.
No, but this dude said that. Go ahead, Reem.
To lose by 5 to the Nets is a privilege for the Knicks, man, because the Nets is a cheat code.
Yeah, that's an all-star team they're playing with over there, man.
That's an all-star team, man.
and we got some players that ain't gonna be here next year. Matter of fact, before March 26th.
Wait a minute. Hey, the Pistons beat the Lakers.
Some people going up out of here. Going up out of here, and I'm gonna tell you this. You want me to talk about it, Cornerstone? You sure?
Go ahead and talk about it. Go ahead, man. You real. I'll listen to you. I'll listen to 5 people.
I'm gonna have to give you my honest opinion about that game. I was disappointed in the first half. The defense was terrible. They couldn't guard the pick and roll. I'm like, are we really doing this tonight?
Yeah.
Really? Pick and roll defense was terrible. They made Jeff Green look like he had just got drafted by the Celtics.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem.
And
that's a problem.
Yeah, watch my show. I talked about that. I said, you know what? We're going to have to watch Jeff Green because he got a history of busting us up.
Yeah.
He normally shows up against the Knicks, man. He might not play against no other team, but when it comes to the Knicks, Jeff Green looked like an all-star when he plays against us.
Yeah, he did that with Boston. He did that with
every team he's been on. When he plays the Knicks.
All the way, Reem, all the way going back to Seattle.
It made me wonder if he wanted to come to the Knicks at one time and the Knicks pull an offer sheet off the table or something.
Right.
Because he plays against us like he got a vendetta.
He take it personal. Yeah, he take it.
You know what I mean? And he puts it on us, man. So last night I wasn't happy with that defense early on. Second half, they got better. first half, the shooting by my man R&B, and I ain't talking about the R&B king Bobby Brown. I ain't talking about Keith Sweat. I sure ain't talking about R. Kelly. I'm talking about Mr. Reggie Bullock.
Right.
Mr. R&B came out shooting.
Hot. Right.
Second half.
Yeah, you couldn't find him.
Nothing.
Nowhere to be found.
Right.
No card.
Don't get me started on that other small forward for us, Alex Burks.
Oh my God.
He's another one. So disappointed overall in that small forward position, but I must give Mr. R&B his credit because he balled last night for us. He played both sides, and I'm starting to believe with him what it is he's giving so much energy defensively that is causing a problem for him to sustain his offense.
Right.
I think that's what it is with him. So I'm gonna give my man last night, like I said it, man. I gave that guy the way he played. I believe it was a B+ I gave it if I had to grade it.
Right.
You know, I would have given him,
especially in the second half. Especially that defense in the second half.
Yeah, he locked up. And I'm gonna tell you one thing. I don't like to bring refs in the situation. My goodness. A few of them fouls they called on Frank, them things were not fouls. Especially
I remember you before.
Go ahead, Coleman.
I remember you before you were saying how you were getting off Frank for getting, silly fouls and everything like that. I didn't see any silly fouls last night.
But I'll say this. You gotta know how the refs call in the game, man, and you gotta adjust, man. You can't get up on them players, man, and the refs calling those kind of fouls, man. So when I saw Kyrie lay it down like he did on that Uncle Drew movie, and they called that last foul on Frank.
On Frank, yeah.
I said, really?
Yeah, that was egregious.
That was terrible.
That was egregious, man.
But I'll say this.
Hey,
Frank came in the game.
Injury prone, man.
You can see the difference. You can see the difference in the defensive intensity of the team. Matter of fact, he guarded Kyrie the best, and ain't nobody can guard Kyrie.
And that's what we were talking about. How we were saying how if Kyrie saw Quickley, it's it's lunchtime is open.
It's welcome to the league moment.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna get on quickly too. Frank had his chance to shine last night. I think Frank messed himself up. He going. This is your captain speaking.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Frank Ntilikina, please put your tray in the upright position. Fasten your seatbelts and prepare for takeoff. Departs. Unknown.
Yeah.
Frank punched his ticket last night because he had an opportunity, man, to be a hero last night. Couldn't hit the backside of a bone with a shotgun with buckshots, man.
Yeah,
right. He was that terrible. He was that terrible last night on the offense.
Offensively, yeah.
Against a bad defensive team too now.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, come on, Frank, hit a couple.
Hit a couple shots.
If Frank would have hit 2 3-pointers last night, because your boy Frank took 5 shots. If he would have just made 2,
we won the game.
What about us being down by 3? And Frank Ntilikina gets a wide open look from 3 and misses.
Wide open. Yeah. Alex Burke.
If Frank had hit that shot, the Frankers would have had a parade this morning.
Oh, absolutely.
Probably.
I would have saw a lot of this morning from a man.
Exactly.
We would have saw a lot of this morning.
Yeah.
But I keep
Frank
saying
fouled the rim. Frank fouled the rim 5 times. So technically, he had 11 fouls.
You're talking to a hater. You're talking to a hater. You're talking to a hater.
There you go, Ron.
You're talking to a hater. You're talking to a hater.
11 fouls.
You're talking to a hater. You know what? I put no sauce on what Chuck is saying because he's always hating. Yeah.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna tell you this.
I just want to ask Reem this real quick, Ron. Hey, so Reem, so based on what you're hearing, you can tell we're Knicks homers, right? And where some of us are Knicks homers up front. And some of us are closet Knicks homers, right? I'm not a Knicks homer, but I talk Knicks 24/7, right? But so based on what you're hearing, and based on what you see around the league, what moves do you think are going to happen at the trade deadline that are going to impact the league as a whole? Like, what player is going to be on the move to what team, and how is that move going to impact other teams in that conference?
One of the biggest ones I've been watching, of course, is Lake Show. Drummond might be going to the Lake Show. So that's one of the biggest ones I've been watching because, that's my team. And I think
what did y'all
that's
do to
gonna
Golden State last night?
take us
Damn.
over the top. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna make us a cheat code, to be honest, especially when AD come back.
What did y'all
AD
do to Golden State last night?
AD hurt again.
Right. Yeah.
So
That was a warm up. That was preseason game.
I'll tell you this. So for one,
But Curry finally going through what LeBron had to go through most of his career.
Yeah.
LeBron never really had a lot of talent until he started recruiting talent later on in his career. Now Curry got to go through that. He got to play without the help that LeBron never had early on in his career.
Come on, man. Curry already went through that early in his career.
No, he didn't.
Man. Yes, he did.
He didn't.
Yes, he did.
How?
No, he had a pretty good team. He had Monte Ellis. That team wasn't trash. They were starting to come back.
Every year they got better. Every year they went further. They went from not making the playoffs to making the playoffs to making it to the second round to making it to the third round.
That's because Steph Curry is in the GOAT conversation.
And that was all Mark Jackson. And then he get fired and Kerr
slide
get
on
in there.
man.
You know what I'm saying?
He slide on it.
Mark Jackson made the team. Yeah, Mark Jackson made that team and made them better.
Make no mistakes
Kerr
about
got
that.
The benefits of it.
So
it's just like Phil Jackson when Phil Jackson took over from Del Harris with the Lakers. That thing was ready to go, and Phil just slid on in there.
It was already ready.
But Phil did that in Chicago too, because Doug Collins had already been getting that team to the second round of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't he an assistant coach first?
He didn't know. Whereas for Phil in Chicago, I kind of say he did that. I give him that. I ain't saying
he brought some pieces with him.
He made them better.
Right.
I think the thing that made him better was when he got rid of your guy, when he moved Oak, and when they got Horace Grant, that's when that team
they hurry up and moved Oak too.
Yeah, he moved him quick.
And then that triangle he brought in, you know what I'm saying? It was like that definitely took him over the top. That's when they started winning.
Hey, so Reem, just for the record, the triangle offense is a soft spot for New York Knicks fans.
Not for me. Not for me. You know why? You gotta be smart to play that.
Yeah.
You gotta be smart to play that. It ain't no basic offense. And a lot of these guys want to be able to just run up and down and din and it.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. A lot of these young guys, like you said, it's no longer becoming a team sport. It's becoming making the name and the legacy for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And now if they play just about any team can play that triangle and trust each other, I guarantee you they make the playoffs.
Yep.
Any team in the league. I don't care if it's the worst team in the league. They put that triangle in effect and trust each other, they go in the playoffs.
So, Reem, let me ask you this. So you think it was an over-exaggeration of when Phil got here and was trying to get the coaches here like Hornacek and Fisher to put that triangle in? Do you think that he had a point?
Go ahead, Reem. I'm saving my thoughts. Hopefully you don't see what I'm thinking, but if you do, me and you on the same wavelength. Go ahead.
I believe he saw the talent here. You know what I'm saying? And he figured if we put this triangle in place, we could weed out the bad pieces and then get the right pieces. But that was the whole point that he was trying to do. He's trying to get the triangle in place, see everything that he got from what he got on paper, how it's going to work with that triangle, and then he like a magician, man. He be like, all right, that don't work, but let's get him out of here. Let's get him in here. All right, now let's get him out of here. Let's get him in here. And then the next thing you know, the triangle worked, and it's not another change. They just changed the players that wasn't working.
I'm gonna tell you what messed Phil up. And I thought about this when you asked that question. You know what happened is the first pick, he was on to something with Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr not coming was a big blow. If Steve Kerr would have came, you would have saw something different. And then the second guy you bring in, basically your lieutenant, he undercut you. He undermined you because when your coach that you handpicked deviates away from that offense, because that's what Derrick Rose did. When Derek Fisher circumvented that offense and started running different stuff, that was the beginning and the end. So now your front office and your coach is not on the same sheet of music. That's what messed that situation up, man. If Derrick Rose would have, I keep saying Derrick Rose, my mind on Derrick Rose. Hurry up and come back, Derrick Rose, please. We need you. But if Fisher would have stuck with that game plan, and we would have allowed Phil to continue to put that thing together, it would have worked. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, when you look at Frank, and you go back and look at them Chicago teams Phil had, Frank is every bit of that type of point guard he was looking for.
Yeah, like
big, long, defensive, that you ain't looking to be no scorer.
Right.
That's what Frank Roll was going to be in that offense.
Right.
But I'll tell you this: I got to get on my man. I got to talk about my man, Mr. O Canada. RJ Barrett is definitely the second option on this team now. There's no question about it.
I'm gonna give you one. Oh, go ahead.
But quickly, I got to get on quickly. Too many shots, man. 19 shots is too much from your point guard.
12 threes.
And more importantly, only 2 assists, man. I understand he's young. Right now, he's not a point guard. Can he become one? That's the question. Can he become one?
I think he
because
can.
I can tell you like this. If it's a question that can he become a point guard, you know what the Knicks gonna do draft time? Go ahead, Cornerstone. You know what we're gonna do?
Yeah, they're gonna draft one.
If it's even a question, they're gonna go draft a point guard.
Yeah.
Because when I look at Quickley's game right now, and that's why I always say, man, when you've been playing a game the same way for so long, man, your natural inclination gonna take over, man. And his natural inclination is to let that thing rip. And I ain't got a problem with him shooting, but have him as the 2 guard and let him shoot. Don't have him in that point guard position. And if you notice when he have his better games, because you look at the box score and say he had 21 points, right? But he did that on 19 shots. That ain't efficient. But when he has his best games is when he's playing off.
Okay, so
when he's playing on that off guard position, man.
Right. So let me ask you this: He's not a. All right. So you're saying right now he's not a point guard.
Right now he's not a point guard. Can he become one? That's the question. Can he become a point guard?
Yes.
Quickly.
And the other question.
Oh, yeah.
And the other question is, can he become a starting point guard?
That's and see both of those questions. If we asking those questions at the end of the season, you know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's a problem.
They're gonna go get they're gonna get. I said a quarterback. That's exactly what it is. They're gonna get a quarterback. They're gonna get a quarterback of this offense.
Yeah.
Because the only thing the Knicks really missing, man, we missing that dynamic point guard, and we definitely missing a small forward. They need to put Kevin Knox.
We have
Burks.
them. We have them. They're just too old. They're just too old.
Well, you talking about small forward?
No. I didn't even know you were going to the small forward yet. I was talking about the point guard. I mean, Alfred and Rose, they're just too old. That's
Alfred ain't old. Alfred just ain't that good. Alfred 26. He's the same age as Julius Randle. But if this was a 26-year-old D Rose, we'd have something. We'd have our big 3. It'd be Rose, Barrett, and Randle.
So the problem. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really watch the Knicks.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, you're a Laker.
Yeah. But
I respect that.
I know a lot of the players that y'all do have, because I still follow basketball. What is going? I know Rose is hurt. I'm a fan of Rose. What is up with Alfred Payton?
Growing.
Yeah, it's
him and Frank. They like
hamstring. Same thing,
yeah,
right?
The hammy. Yeah, he got a ham problem.
And
he like eating that ham.
And I take it Austin's still not good, right?
Nah,
man.
Austin Rivers he's on the tarmac at LaGuardia.
Hey man, hey Rob, what were we saying at the beginning of the season? We signed him. We were like, oh, we got a dude that had experience.
To me, man, he always been hit and miss.
But he was missing runs.
He got to play for his pop, but he always been hit and miss. He never been consistent.
Rain.
Like I said.
Yeah, what I was gonna say was
there's no middle ground with that kid, man. He's either on or off, man. He's like a light switch.
Hey, Ray,
Right.
I thought when we got him, I thought we were getting like a guy, like I said, with experience, because
Yeah.
he had been to, he was on the Clippers, he was on Houston. Both those teams were playoff teams that went deep
Yeah.
into the playoffs, and we thought we were getting something like that. So you didn't mind if he was going to come in and either, start or be like the first person off the bench. That totally went out the window.
I tell you what, though, Reem, you was talking about Drummond. You know, they got him linked to come into the Knicks heavily.
Yeah, it's a lot of people who want him.
They're saying that they're looking at trading for him and looking at giving and extending him after the end of the season. But I tell you this, man, anybody who don't want Drummond on this team, if we had Drummond last night, we win this game.
Oh yes,
I'm telling you that right now.
Oh yes,
I'm telling you right, because I'm looking at our starting center. He ain't had a point in 20 minutes.
That's a problem.
Well,
that's a problem.
All right, so let me ask you: is Julius Randle All-Star?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's more than an All-Star. He's an MVP candidate.
Oh yeah. You know why, Reem? Because of the coach, because of Tibbs. That's why.
And I know why Reem asked that question, because you're a Laker fan. My nephew a Laker fan, and he warned me about Julius when we first got him. Everything he said was right last year about who Julius Randle was going to be. He said, he's going to frustrate you because he's not going to pass the ball to nobody else. He's very selfish. He said, you're going to see it. And I was like, I said, okay. And I saw everything he was saying. He said, I told you. But this year, this is a different Julius Randle, man. This is a different Julius Randle.
Right. I think this year he earned, being in an All-Star game. I think me and the other guy before he had to hop off, but the other guy
Evergreen.
Evergreen.
Yeah. This is me personally, and you know what I'm saying? I don't think he's a All-Star. I think this year he's playing like an All-Star. So I'm thinking he's an All-Star in the making, if so to speak. The only reason why I don't think he's a All-Star, I have to see more of it.
Right.
Well, I get what you're saying. Body of work. You're talking about body of work.
Right.
But definitely for this season.
Yeah.
And how you look at it is, and the same reason why I did a show a while back, but 2 weeks ago, maybe even longer. But is Julius Randle an MVP candidate? And when we looked at every team, all these players that are always in the MVP discussion, when you took we agreed. We looked at it. We was like, if you take each one of these guys off their team, what would those team be? And every last one was a lottery team without those players.
Yeah,
It's the same thing with Julius Randle. Julius Randle lead the Knicks in points, rebounds, and assists.
Yeah.
And on top of that, he's playing defense now. Getting back to the Julius Randle we saw in Kentucky, because that defense guy we saw in the league when he came to the Lakers, I didn't recognize that guy. I'm like, Julius ain't even playing no defense.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's, but I agree with you. It's all about the body of work, man. He's going to have to continue to do it. But I tell you this, if the New York Knicks finish in the 5th spot in the East, Julius Randle will be an MVP candidate.
Yes.
Because nobody saw the Knicks being in no playoff discussion, period.
Sure. He definitely played like it, and that's why I was going to tell that to the other guy, Evergreen, before he got off. I didn't want him to not think, I don't think he's All-Star, material. I was just saying, like, far as the body of work, it wasn't there prior to this year. This is the best I've ever seen him play in the NBA.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, again, I think it goes back to Tibbs. He talked to him big time about what he expects and what he does. I don't
think it's just Tibbs, though, Cornerstone.
You don't think so?
No, because think about it, man. If you look at Julius' career arc, every year the guy has gotten better. Even on our team last year, we didn't have the coaching was terrible. The front office went through all that turmoil. You had players on the team that was playing for next contract. It was so much turmoil on this team, and that guy was our best player last year.
Let me put you on the spot. Then. If Tibbs wasn't here and we still had Miller, what do you think we will be in the same position now
coaching matters. No. Not with the same. Not with the team. Coaching matters to that degree, but I think Julius Randle was going to be Julius Randle. Because nobody has ever. So it would have still been the 2 game then between him and Alfred.
Work ethic. It would have still been that 2 game thing between him and Alfred then, right?
I don't think so. I think his offense would have changed. I think Miller, because Miller did some good things offensively with Julius Randle. Some of the things we see Tibbs run, they were doing it last year with him. But the biggest difference is last year, Julius was bringing that ball up the whole court. You know what I mean? A lot more than what he's doing this year. He's pretty much getting it at the half. Once it get across the half court line, then they giving the ball to Julius and letting Julius do his thing.
Reem, was he doing that with y'all when he was with the Lakers, bringing the ball up? He was. Okay.
Yeah, and that was the thing. And it's the same thing. Like I tell anybody, I'm a huge fan of LeBron. You know what I'm saying? So being a fan of LeBron, I'm a bigger fan of basketball. And I tell anybody, LeBron shouldn't be bringing the ball up the court. I'm not knocking him. I don't think he's not capable. It's just, why put so much on yourself? And then why put another player out of position? You see what I'm saying? Like, he had some good guards. He had Mo Williams. He had Mario Chalmers. He had a lot of good point guards.
I love Mo Williams.
Yeah, and when you bringing the ball up, that was Mo Williams' biggest problem with him. He didn't have a problem with LeBron doing what he had to do, but it was like, far as you running my position, what the hell am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to go to two guard. Then what he's supposed to do? You see what I'm saying?
Kyrie's biggest problem.
Everybody got to go out of position until you decide to play small forward.
And you know the crazy thing is, Reem, when you look at LeBron's career, right? Everybody gonna call him, rightfully so, because his game is warranted that, point guard.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at him. He's a small forward, power forward in body, but he's played basically as a point guard his whole career. And you know the crazy thing is if he would have played the small forward exclusively, he'd be the best in history.
I agree.
He'd be the best in history because you couldn't. When he go in that post, you had his mercy. But he don't like playing in the post.
He doesn't post up very much.
He's one of the most dominant at his position.
Absolutely.
I don't care who get in front of him. You know what I'm saying? And that's how he beat people. He's not skilled like that. He's good, but he's not really skilled. He's dominant force. Now, if you want to talk about skill, most skilled at the position, Kevin Durant.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't think anybody else is close as offense, defense, dribble, shooting, inside, outside. I mean, most skilled by far.
I think the closest thing to him was Melo.
Yeah.
Minus the defense, because that's where they separate each other. KD defense is head and shoulders way above what Melo's was in his prime.
Oh yeah.
But that Denver Melo, and when we first got Melo footwork,
Denver Melo couldn't be stopped.
Melo footwork.
Yeah, he could jazz that fadeaway three ball. He had the whole repertoire.
The problem that happened to Melo was what's the coach name?
George
malpractice on us.
They thought to win Denver near George Karl.
And then it was D'Antoni. Both letting him do what he want to do.
Yeah.
He needs
develop them bad habits, man. Develop them bad habits.
Yeah.
And then when he got to us, it was like,
Yo, Reem,
I'm gonna say this.
You're right, Reem. Listen, Reem, let me ask you. You talking like you good at this, boss?
He is.
Yeah, he's very comfortable. He's very comfortable. He's a natural.
Yeah.
Dog, I gotta admit, you gotta start coming on more of these.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Reem. Where do you live, Reem? Where you at?
He down here with me in South Carolina.
I'm down here with
you gotta come on with us then. I can understand you was on the West Coast.
You in Carolina too, I hear you.
Hey guys, I gotta get off, but Reem, it's great talking to you. Please come back on.
Cornerstone.
Yes, sir.
Same here, bro.
Send that Frank jersey back to the NBA store.
No, I'm not.
Tell him you made a mistake with your order.
Hey, you got jersey insurance.
Hey, man, until the 25th comes up, man, I'm gonna keep it here.
Hey, Kev, breaking news. Right? Breaking news.
What's that?
That Ntilikina may have Indiana Pacers on the front in a Miles Turner deal.
Wow.
Wait, what?
Are you calling that or you hearing some whispers about it?
Nah, he ain't hearing nothing.
I'm hearing some. Hey, man. So look, okay. All right. So I ain't hearing that, right?
Because nobody want him.
Boy, if we can get Miles Turner, boy.
Don't nobody want him.
Getting the glare. What's that? What's the sauce? What's the sauce coming from?
It's a glare. We can't see it in the light.
Let me get.
Freeze report.
Don't know
Hey,
why
Reem.
you
Freezy pulling that up?
So Lakers. So it's Lakers,
The claw.
Clippers, Knicks, Hornets, and Pelicans are the 5 teams that have been talking, and Adam Wells is the source.
Miles Turner, he's a good player. He can shoot the 3 and he can protect the rim.
And
Hey,
Stephanie,
G-Money, what you
what's
got?
up to Stephanie? I see Stephanie in
Yeah?
the chat. She says it's true.
Steph!
She
Hey,
says it's true.
Steph.
Kev, I
She
thought
said
you was
it's true.
leaving. Get on out of here.
Yo, Stephanie, why,
Man.
hey, so why Miss
He's a
Stephanie?
good role player.
You know what?
Yo, Ron, why Miss Stephanie won't come on
You
with
know,
us?
Winnie the Pooh,
Hey,
you got no moxie. That's what I got to say. You got no moxie.
Hey,
No moxie.
depending on who the Knicks give up, he'll be a good fit.
Miles
Because if
Turner
y'all
be
keep,
perfect.
if y'all keep, I know y'all gonna keep Barrett, but if y'all keep that other kid Quickley, Miles will fit perfect in there, man.
Yeah.
Alley-oop season.
Okay, guys, take care. Talk to y'all soon.
Yeah,
all
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Right,
yeah.
bro.
Bye,
Okay.
Kev.
bro.
Bye.
Hey, Cornerstone,
Yeah.
I knew you
Yes,
was
sir.
crying. I knew you was crying last night when your man went over 5. I knew you was like, oh man,
He
Chuck.
cry
You
every night.
probably had a nightmare last
I
night.
didn't cry. I didn't cry because he put the defense on there, and the rest just kind of screwed him. So
Man, your
Kyrie
man
was
could,
giving him
if
a
Frank
lie,
could have
bro.
gave us two threes last night, we win the game.
Yeah, we win the game. It
If
is
he
what
would
it
have
is.
stayed on his average of 6 points, we win this game last night, man.
okay, but
Reem,
we got tonight.
I'm here to tell you. If y'all get Andre Drummond, then
It's
Miles
over.
Miles Turner
Yep.
is a Knick. If
Absolutely.
y'all get Andre Drummond,
Please do that.
Miles Turner is a
Yep.
Knick.
If I got to
Y'all
pick
know-
between them two, give me Miles Turner.
Right. And
Y'all know Bradley Beal still trying to go somewhere.
well,
Hey, you know Bradley Beal is on
talk
that.
about it.
Hey, you know,
Top scorer in the league right now. We need to talk about it.
Bradley Beal. Yo, man, this Julius, man. Hey, man, Julius, welcome, man. You're all-star, man. Hey, tell Leon I see what y'all doing down there, man.
You want to wear number 3? You want to wear number 3, Bradley Beal? Come on.
Yeah, come on.
Come to the Big Apple.
Hey,
Come on, Bradley Beal.
you know we're gonna have 60 million in cap space. We can get that other guy too, down there in Clipper land. You know that claw. Not the baby claw, but the big claw.
I want to tell Reem. So Reem, you know what I think it is this offseason? We're gonna add Bradley Beal and Kawhi Leonard.
The claw.
Roll with
Bill. I think Bill gonna go before.
It depends how far the Clippers go, though.
Clippers ain't going no further than what they went last year. They still got everybody keep talking about the Lakers, and the Lakers is the benchmark. Tell you, hey, Flair told you to beat a man, you got to beat the man. So they're the champion. Everybody chasing that.
What?
But
I told y'all Ron Cleveland was my brother. Ron Cleveland just quoted Rick Flair.
Hey, had to
I think Bradley Beal gonna go before the deadline.
So this the thing I'm saying, Reem. This the thing where everybody, the Clippers still got to get past Denver and Utah. And Portland ain't no pushover.
Okay,
and they got a handful. And just getting there, and shout out to Kendrick Perkins on the jump yesterday. He said it. They have to win the championship.
Which I agree with that. They have to, yes.
Hey, Uncle Freezy, you know I'm glad I'm on here, right? You make sure, because I don't get on that night show, I might have to make an appearance for your boy Kevin Wright. Remember when I told him, when we was on there, I told him, and I don't like to say I told you so, but only when people act kind of arrogant when I try to say things to him. And he acted so arrogant that night when I told him that Kawhi Leonard, do not be surprised if he become a Knick. And I gave him all the evidence. The man is unpredictable. He was in San Antonio. He left that situation. That was his team.
Where he won a championship.
You go to Toronto. You win a championship. That's your team. You leave that. All these situations, this dude was not
actually traded from San Antonio. He didn't ask to go to Toronto. He was traded there.
No, but I'm saying he wanted to get out of there. He had us on the radar then too.
Right.
When we were trash. When we were trash. So the thing I'm saying, but Kawhi Leonard was not a passenger on them championship teams. He was a driver.
No,
he was a driver.
You know what I mean? And for this guy, for anybody to sit there and say, the Knicks ain't got a shot. Man, do you watch this guy? And then for that report to come out with Kendrick Perkins saying that, Doris Burke saying what she said last night about the Knicks, what Kawhi had to say about Quickley and RJ Barrett, and then on top of this,
it's not random.
And then you know what else was the kicker? Shout out to Jay Boogie, because Jay Boogie brought this point up when he talked about how Kawhi Leonard. When you look at Kawhi Leonard, oh my goodness, it's slipping my mind. I can't believe it because what he said It's gonna come back to me, but y'all keep going because when it come back to me, I'm gonna drop it.
So
because it was very telling what he said, and I just man, J Boogie, if you hearing this thing, man, give that other piece because it was heavy.
Yeah, let it. All right, yeah, let it slip your mind because he ain't coming to the Knicks.
See, you know what it is though. I expect that from you. You know why?
Because I'm a realist.
No, you're not an optimist.
Right.
It's something called being a realist, and it's something called being an optimist, and it's something called being a pessimist, and it's something called being a negative.
No, I'm a realist. You're an optimist.
Exactly. I'm definitely an optimist.
Hold on. One more thing. I got a point on the point guard thing. I've been waiting to say this.
Okay.
He will never be a point guard because most of it is mental. He would literally have to slip into a coma and forget who he was. You have to.
So you have to pull a Julius Randle. Huh?
You would have to think like a point guard. It's not all physical tools. You have to think like a point guard as well.
Chuck, I know the last thing, and I'm gonna kick it right back to you. You know what the last thing was?
LeBron thinks like a point guard, and he has point guard tools. Quickley don't think like a point guard.
All-Star Weekend. That was the last thing. All-Star Weekend. Who were the three people on the team together? Kawhi Leonard, Bradley Beal, and Julius Randle. Those three guys were on team together, and he brought up the point. You saw how Kawhi and Bradley Beal were passing that thing back and forth to each other. We know deals get made at the All-Star break. They come into fruition at the end of the season.
Randall played the least amount of minutes in that game.
Yeah, but he's on the team with him. That's the point we're talking about. They was on the team together.
But they not talking transactions on the court, dog.
None of them picked
not on the court, but I'm saying the fact that they were on team together, you know they were in the locker room together.
For those 2 days,
the stuff they were talking about that we ain't privy to, the same way them guys were saw in that hallway, them two guys. Yeah, when they put that thing together, a lot of deals go down at the All-Star break.
So Greek.
Let me respond to Chuck real quick.
All right, go ahead.
I don't disagree with you, Chuck. I really don't. To a point, I think Quickley can be capable of being a point guard. I think he needs more than the first year.
Right.
I think he needs a coach to help groom him into seeing the floor.
Right.
But I think he's fully capable because he has the athleticism. I mean, he's super fast. He's able to create. We know that. But I think once he get I want to say better chemistry with this team because it's his first year, I think he'll fit better with the team from a point guard role. But I think, just this being his first year, we know a lot of rookies come in and a lot of rookies they feel like they gotta make a name for themselves and they go crazy. I think that's what's happening.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening right now for Quickley. He's really just trying to make a name for himself.
Yeah.
And another reason why a lot of these rookies do that is they don't trust these franchises. So if they make a good name for themselves, then they put value on themselves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Freeman, you know what else? I'm gonna kick it right to you, Chuck. You know what else to go to that point? You know why I think Quickley shoots so much? Because we don't have no shooters on this team. I think he would be if you had shooters around him, he would have less reasons to take shots.
True. You ain't got no. You're right about that.
And so I just want to throw in my thing about Kawhi Leonard. So Kawhi Leonard divorced.
Oh my God,
San Antonio.
I told police and I can't rebut.
Right. I just want to throw this thing in there. Chuck D. Hold your water, old man.
Yeah, I might forget.
So I just want to throw this in there.
Yo, I literally I waited 2 hours to say that one thing. But go ahead.
Oh, well, let him go real quick. Go ahead and do your thing.
You made me forget. That was
because you're old man.
You want me to say the question? I'll say it again. So you
all right. He lacked the handle for one.
He got basic hand. He ain't a great handle, but he got basic hand.
No. Exactly. Forget flashy. He don't beat his man. Period. He do everything off a pick.
No, Chuck. No,
Everything.
Chuck.
He do not beat his man.
No, Chuck.
He do everything off a pick. Everything. His floater come off a pick. He shoots his 3 off a pick if it's not the step back. He don't beat his man one-on-one. He has trouble beating his man one-on-one. That's for one. For two, he's not a good passer. Right? For three, you don't think like a point guard. You have to think like it first. That's the key thing. Mark Jackson.
Chuck, let me ask you a question. Because I'm gonna ask you a question. So what you're saying is, but Chuck, what I'm saying is, listen to what I'm asking you.
Can I?
Okay, all right. So go ahead and finish.
I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Mark Jackson lacked a lot of physical traits.
Yeah,
but he thought the game like a point guard.
General.
Right? He didn't have the speed, didn't really have the handle, but he had the point guard mind.
No athleticism.
None whatsoever. But he beat you with his brain.
Yeah, he outthink you now. That's for sure. You agree on something, Chuck. Keep talking, keep rocking.
And it was an
excellent. And another thing was he saw the floor.
Yeah.
Vision. From anywhere on the court, he saw the floor.
Yeah, he saw the floor.
So what I was trying to ask you.
Go ahead. Being that you.
So what I'm asking you is this, because we heard you make those same points every week. Every week we hear you make that same.
I haven't been on in like a month.
Right. So when you were saying "let me talk," I was like, "Oh boy, he about to bring up Mark Jackson." You know what I'm saying? I noticed. What I'm asking you is to elaborate on your points. Like you said, think like a point guard.
Yes.
Right. And you put a period behind it and moved on to another thought. So for most people, we want to know, like, what does Quickley need to do in order to learn how to think like a point guard?
I told you.
And what type of point guard? Because Mark Jackson was a floor general, pass first point guard, but Mark Price wasn't like that. John Stockton wasn't like that. Isaiah Thomas wasn't like
floor
that.
General. John Stockton was a floor general.
No, John Stockton John Stockton was a screen and roll savant. He was a pick and roll savant.
Well, he can pick and roll you, but he was a very good passer.
He was a good floor general. Could put the ball on the floor and get back to him.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
so y'all are saying that Mark Jackson and John Stockton were similar.
Different. Mark Jackson was a little bit more flashier, but when it came to Stockton was your prototype. When you put up point guard back in that era, Stockton fades pop up. Prototypical.
Yeah.
Because he was a pick and roll savant. The way teams run the pick and roll now is almost like a blueprint to the godfather of the pick and roll offense, John Stockton. Right? We didn't consider Karl Malone a roller until now, when you look at the 6'9" guys that can roll to the basket and finish. We didn't know what we were looking at when we were looking at Karl Malone. Right? Karl Malone was not the quintessential post-up player. He excelled in the pick and roll with John Stockton, who excelled in the pick and roll. Right? And then when you look at other point guards, like, for instance, Maurice Cheeks in a 1-4 offense with a whole bunch of wing players that were athletic and that could jump. He is a different type point guard than Mark Jackson. Right? Because Mo Cheeks knew when Dr. J was going to cut baseline. So all he had to do was throw that pocket pass to Dr. J, and Dr. J would yam on somebody. And if that defender cut off the lane, he would pass that ball to the corner to a dude named Andrew Toney, who would knock down that wide open jump shot. You know what I'm saying? Or if you took
he was
away
a floor general too, right?
He would kick. But I'm saying their offenses were different. You take these guys out of certain offenses and put them in offenses that they're good at. They played the roles differently. The point guard position is played differently by different, like for instance, Magic Johnson was not a great half-court point guard, right? But what they did though is they stifled you on defense, and Magic will go get a rebound and push that thing and get a lot of assists in the open floor, kind of like what LaMelo Ball is trying to do right now, right? Magic Johnson was not gonna. Magic Johnson,
Showtime.
Yeah,
Magic Showtime.
Right, Magic could play in the half court. He was above average in half court sets, right? I'm not knocking Magic. What I'm saying is he could do that, but where he thrived at was in the open floor, right?
Tempo.
So he was a different type point guard than Mark Jackson. So what I'm saying to Chuck's point is I want you to elaborate on how quickly can become a point guard and what he needs to work on.
I think he said it though, Freezer. He said he's gonna have to rewire his thinking, and I agree with Chuck on that, man. Me and Chuck don't agree on much, but I definitely agree he's gonna have to rewire his thinking, man.
But Ron, rewire it to become what? To become a
to be, you know what it is. You know what he remind me of. I'm glad you asked that, Freezy. You know, hey, Reem, we've all been there. You remember when you started playing the game of basketball, right? When you start as a point guard, when you then learn that you can get your shot at any time. Right. Yeah, I can shoot that thing. And I remember I went through these phases. Okay, I can shoot. I can get my shot on anybody. But guess what? My next thought process, I got to get these other guys involved because I can get my shot anytime.
Exactly.
That's what I'm waiting for him to do. And I'm not seeing that right now. And technically, for as long as he's been playing, it shouldn't be because you develop that when you're young. It's not once you get to the league. Whatever you are normally is who you're going to be. It's rare that a person change after playing from Pee Wee League, high school, college, and then come into the league. You say, oh, now we want to change you into something else. It's hard to do that. It's about rewinding and bringing. So that I get what Chuck's saying, man. And when I look at Quickley, that's the thing that's kind of aggravating and depressing because the guy got out of the gym range, can shoot from the parking lot. But I don't think he realized that he can shoot. What I mean by that, the same thing with Julius Randle. Last year, Julius Randle, everybody on the Knicks knew that Julius Randle was our best player except for Julius.
Right.
Julius felt like he had to show everybody that he was our best player. Nah, dog, we know you our best player.
Right.
That's why they paid you like that. So until Quickley put in his head, say, you know what? I can get my shot when I'm ready. Let me get these other guys involved. That's the next evolution in this game.
Yeah, the problem is, basically is this generation, you know what I'm saying? These new guys, and as I said before, when they come in, they try making a name for themselves. But these new guys, they come in, they're not team oriented. They're not thinking team first. See, back in the day, you had John Stockton, Mark Jackson, all the guys that we were naming, but they was team first when they came in the game. You know what I'm saying? When they came in the league, it was team first. And let me see how I can fit in this team. It's very few, of this generation, even, and I'm not just talking about Generation Z, even the millennials, my age and stuff. You got what's the guy? I play ball with him in Philly, man. Kyle Lowry. He came in, he was a team first guy.
Oh,
yeah, team first guy when he came in.
That's our guy right there.
We've been yelling for him for a while, wanting him on this team right now.
Right.
If
we get him and Miles Turner,
it's over.
I play him not 1-on-1. I play him 5-on-5. Raymond Felton. Play him right here. I play him in Marion down
South
here.
Carolina, another South Carolina boy.
Right. I'm trying to get Ray Felton on the show too, by the way.
Yeah, you need to do that.
He's another guy. He came in and he was team first. You know what I'm saying? Even when he was in UNC, he was a team first guard. You didn't see him really scoring until his senior year, senior year. But he's a team first guard. It's just, I guess the later, the career, and also like Chuck was saying, the mindset of these guys, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's not thinking like a point guard. They're not thinking about the team first. They come in and they're thinking, man, I got to do me. I got to make a name for myself. I got to put value on myself. So when somebody, I don't care what this franchise do, but if I get traded, I got this much value on me and I'm going to go here and I can, demand this XYZ amount of money.
Right.
But guess what? What the guys are feeling to realize the one kid, and I'm gonna give him a lot of props. LaMelo Ball. He's playing the game like a point guard, man.
I got another one to go with LaMelo. John Morant.
Yeah,
he's another person.
Another South Carolina boy. Hey, playing that thing the right way, man. These guys fail to realize that point guard position means you get others involved, man. That's what that is. It's not shooting. Shooting guards are shooting guards. Point guards, it's a luxury to have a point guard that can shoot. But your job is supposed to be to get everybody else involved. You take the shot when you're needed to take the shot. You're not supposed to be forcing the action.
And get that ball to the high hand. And
get that thing and keep. And if you throwing them beautiful passes, guess what? You still gonna be on. They're gonna put you on it. John Morant, man, hey.
What type of point guard is John Morant though?
All around, man. Goodness.
He's a playmaker to me, man. He remind me of Penny. Yeah, he get in there. He could dish. He could go to the hole. He could score. You know what I'm saying? He got defense. He remind me of Penny. That's the closest comparison I got for him.
You know what I call him? He's a hybrid, man. He's a hybrid. Unique, very, very unique. It's gonna be hard to find another one like him. He does everything and does it well.
Hey, Reem, so I want to say this real quick because I don't know if I ever be able to get you and Chuck B in the same place. Hopefully I will. But I just want to say this real quick. So I think I found somebody who can match you in the sneaker game. I think
Chuck
may
on that sneaker game.
I think I may have found somebody that can match you in the sneaker game. Right? Now I ain't gonna brag. You know, y'all know because the chat swept me down. I be bragging on Chuck B all the time. Right? They swept me down that I be counseling Chuck and I be protecting Chuck. Right? But I think I may have found somebody that's deep in the sneaker game like us. You know what I'm saying? So Chuck B showed off for us one day, right? He's like, I ain't gonna show y'all everything. He's like, I ain't gonna show y'all everything, but Chuck B rolled out like 200 pairs of sneakers, right? And I ain't gonna lie to you. So about 150 of them was fly, and then about 50 of them was. And I'm not saying they wasn't dope. What I'm saying is, you know how sometimes you pick your own swag. You know how sometimes you get a shoe, you like, yo, I like this fly for me. It might not be fly for somebody else, but it's my man's style, right? Like I got a dress shoe. Hold on, right? I got like to me, my dress shoe game is top notch, right? Ain't nobody touching Uncle Freezy when it comes to dress shoes, dog. Because I got loafers, I got slides, I got buckles. I got everything, right?
You didn't say buckle.
Yes. Yes.
He's a clean up nice at work, man. I say that. I go on record with that. He clean up nice at work. Man.
Yeah, I'm saying. Like I legit got a pair of black buckles. I wear it with a green suit. I look like the Black Leprechaun. You know what I'm saying?
Freezy, y'all on them sneaker game and stuff. See, I'm on that suit game, man.
Yeah,
I love my suits, man. Especially anything made by Nautica or Hilfiger, man. Them things just fit the right way, man. They seem like I just went and got tailored. You know what I mean?
Bam.
Yeah. I've been a huge fan of Ralph Lauren myself.
Yeah.
A couple of them suits that I got from them, even a coat. I got a coat, man. It's just like you said.
It hit different, man. When you throw that on, it's like
yeah, for you to buy it off the rack and it's not tailored and you got that tailor fit, that is crazy.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. Hey, Chuck B, guess what else? Guess what else, Chuck?
What's that?
Hey, Raw love hip hop. Love hip hop. We used to back in the day when I used to be around, we could have those conversations that go from basketball to sneakers.
Well, I thought you were going to say y'all had a rap group.
No.
I was sitting there with. I was like,
nah, I ain't gonna be
a rap group. No. Chuck, that's what I thought he was getting ready to say, man.
No, dog. Hey. So y'all know Ron is like my brother, man. But you know I'm a ham. I can't be in no group. I need all the spotlight to myself. Right? It's 5 spotlights in here, and I want them all shining on me. You know? Yeah, man. So
Where everybody from? Where y'all from?
New York.
Beaufort, South Carolina.
Yeah, man.
Beaufort. And you said New York?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What part?
Bronx.
Boogie Down. Okay.
Every time I hear that, I think of my all-time favorite rapper growing up as a kid, man. Y'all know who it is.
KRS.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You already know. He said.
Absolutely.
Hey,
absolutely.
And so to the virtual chat, I'm gonna say this to the virtual chat real quick. So while we've been on, my phone has been blowing up with dudes like, "Yo, Uncle Freezy, who is this new cat?" Man, listen, it's the secret weapon. It's the secret weapon. Y'all calm down.
And
let's not overreact to this dude.
Rib, you heard that
asked him
before?
to come on for a few minutes, man.
Exhibit.
So the cat's blowing up my phone like, yo, they love this new cat. First of all, he just coming, he a visitor, man. We just want to welcome him, man. You know what I'm saying? Talk some ball or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'll whoop up on him on some 2K or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then
Which y'all play 2K on? Which y'all on?
PlayStation.
Hey, I'm about to make the switch to that PlayStation, man. That new one. You know, my son was the one who got me on that Xbox. And
speaking of your son, how his pro day go?
6 more days.
Oh,
six more days. Six more days.
So my man's son is the dude that caught the short pass against Michigan and took it to the house. Against Michigan, bro. Against Michigan.
Yeah.
And you saw him kept looking back at that guy, right? I said, Ronald, I said, why you kept looking back at dude, man? He said, Dad, dude was talking trash. You know, me and him was talking. I told him, you're not gonna catch me. I kept looking at him and telling him, I said, Ronald, you know what's funny? Normally they tell you do not look back because you're gonna slow down.
Exactly.
But you did not slow down. You was going. You know what I mean?
But when you run 4.4, that don't count for people that run 4.4, man. Ain't nobody.
That's a fact.
4.4 is so rare. 4.4.
Right.
You one of the fastest human beings on the planet when you run in 4.4.
Breezy, I'm gonna tell you no lie, man. Watching that kid in high school and everything, man, he always looked like the fastest player on the field. And that same thing translated right into college, man. He always looked like the fastest player on the field. And he was one in his rookie season, he was one of 4 Air Force freshmen to actually make the team. And they normally don't even get a chance to play. And he played in his first game as a freshman for Air Force.
Wow. So what's gonna happen when the Cowboys draft him? What's gonna happen then?
I ain't gonna have no choice.
Oh boy.
I ain't gonna have no choice. Whoever grab him, man, that's why if New England grab him, they're the one team that I'm worried about because they spent a week. You remember when they played the Raiders in Mexico a few years ago? They spent a week at Air Force Academy.
Really?
And so my son said they were, watching players, watching him and stuff. But Carolina, the Panthers had looked at him twice and was there like the week right before he tore his ACL.
Okay.
In the game, but right now we know it's 7 teams, and I can't divulge them, but there's 7 teams that's going to be there for him amongst other teams because they got two All-Star, two All-Americans that's going to have other teams looking at them. So we know right now it's 7 teams that's definitely going to be there to see my son.
Oh wow!
So let me ask this: what position they had him at? What position do he play? And
he's a hybrid.
Okay.
Percy Harvin type player.
If
you look at his game film and look at him, they line him up in the backfield. They line him up outside, inside, return
special
punts.
team.
Yeah. I tell you one thing.
That's gonna take him a long way.
Not Devin Hester because this kid can catch.
The kid second year, his sophomore year, first game of the season. You know what I mean? He had 2 touchdowns in the first game. He had one. They pitched it to him, took it about 35 yards on the run, and then he caught one about 60-something yards in between 2 people. That one is all over what you call it in YouTube, man.
Hey, how big is he?
Ronald is right at like 5'10", 190, 195.
Okay. So he a big dude.
What's his name? I'm gonna look him up.
Same name, Ronald Cleveland.
Yep.
Ronald Cleveland. Okay.
Yeah. Just type in Ronald Cleveland Air Force and you look at his highlights, man. The kid tough, man. And I ain't saying it because he's my son, because if he was trash, I'd tell him too, and he know that. But what bugged me up, Freezy, man, when we went up there for the first game of the season. So we go up there, and I'm looking. I'm trying to get some money from the ATM machine. I go to this bank. They're telling me they can't complete transaction. I said, I know I got money in the bank. Just got paid before we left South Carolina. So
right.
I said, I saw a liquor store. I said, okay, a liquor store. They always got an ATM machine trying to get people money. So I walk in there and I'm looking. Who I see on the window? They got a big poster of my son.
Wow.
And I was like, I asked the guy. I said, man, how'd you get that poster? He said the Air Force, they send them to every business. You know what I mean? So I'm bugging. I'm tripping out on that thing, man. Matter of fact, we went and eat to this one place there, man, in Colorado Springs. And the place we went and eat, they had a big one in there. And I said, Ronald, you know what's crazy? I said, we in here right now. They don't even know that's you on the poster.
Right.
And he very humble, man. Very
right.
He don't talk much, man. Me and him, we got different personalities. He's more like my dad, man. Okay. But if you talk to him about his game, he ain't gonna say much. And he don't talk trash, but when people talk trash to him, then he respond. You know what I mean? He one of them type players.
So what if he get drafted by the Dolphins?
Man, me and him already talked about that. I'll cry, man. I know I'll cry. If that
happens. Man.
I'm a sensitive dude, man. But I'm telling you right now, if that was to happen,
that's a proud moment, though.
That's my team, man.
Right.
But me and him was talking, man, and he just to the point, man. He said he don't care who he get drafted by. He don't care if he's on the practice squad.
Right.
You know what I mean? He said he don't care. He just want to play football. And I heard him say that the boy been playing since he been 8 years old and past.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Hey, you deserve all those tears, man, because that's a proud moment. I would cry too, to be honest.
I remember when they was telling him say he was too small to play football. And when I saw him in that first game, they had us right behind their bench, and I'm looking at him on the field. All of a sudden, man, I'm feeling that feeling. You know what I mean? Water just started pouring. I'm like, what in the world?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But hey, yeah, he a good kid, man. But even football aside, man, you know what I mean? He's straight. He got his degree. Right. You know, where he gonna be straight, man. The kid got a head on his shoulders. So we'll see what happens, man. But I'll keep y'all posted, man.
Yeah, man.
And I told him the beautiful thing. I said you don't have to wait for the draft because you'll be an unsigned, you be an undrafted free agent. Right. You know what I mean? They can sign you right on the spot if they want you. I said, what you gonna do then? He said, man, me and the commander done talk, Dad. He said, I'm gone. Because they're already saying that they need to downsize his position that he's in the military. They gotta alleviate like 50 positions. You know what I mean? So he could actually he can leave right now if he wanted to.
Right.
You know what I mean? And be straight. So I told him, I said, hey, man, you got options, man. But he want to play that football, though. I told him, hey, you know, whatever you want to do, Pop's behind you, man. I definitely used to enjoy them Saturdays watching him, man.
Right.
Playing on Saturdays, especially when he got that thing. And the crazy thing, you know, I like Michigan. So I'm a Michigan fan. When he caught that touchdown on Michigan, I was like, I said, I want Michigan to win, but I want you to be able to do your thing.
You're right.
And so, yeah, it was a good game. Matter of fact, he got lit up in that game too by Devin Bush.
Whew. Oh wow, Devin Bush is a hitter, bro.
Devin Bush hit him. Freezy, he was coming around the corner on a sweep, and Devin, I mean, he was all out speed, man. Devin Bush hit him, and when he hit him, I was like, oh God,
right.
He hit that ground and he popped back up, and I was like, woo. I said,
yeah.
Because it was a big hit, man. It was a big. Matter of fact, you could hear it. You could hear it. That's how hard of a hit it was. And I asked, I said, Ronald, how that hit felt, man? He said he started laughing because he got hit so hard.
Wow. Hey, so Chuck B, when you hear the name Devin Bush, I know that brings back memories because you're a Seminoles fan, right?
Florida State.
Yeah, man. So
his pop played for them, didn't he? Or uncle, somebody related?
Yeah, no, his father. His father.
Yeah. I knew that name was familiar. I was like, Bush.
Yeah. He played there with a dude named Kevin.
Was it Charlie Ward in him?
Yeah, Kevin Knox, Charlie Ward, all them guys. Tamrick Vanover, Snoop Menace, Peter Ward, all of them that was there.
Boy, Peter Ward. Man.
Bro.
Hey, it's still a travesty they didn't let Charlie Ward play football, man. I see it all. If I could talk to Charlie Ward, I'd tell him to his face, man. He was gonna be Michael Vick and then before Michael Vick, man.
Right.
He was so far ahead of his time, man.
Right. Hey, I'm a wrap up here, but I'm gonna tell a Charlie Ward story real quick. I don't know if I ever told y'all this, but my homeboy used to play for the crosstown rival. Like Charlie Ward and then was on one side of town in Georgia, and my homeboy, my roommate in the military, was on the other side of town. Charlie Ward was the star quarterback, right? And my man was the star safety on the other team, right? So he said he was so hyped to play against Charlie Ward because they had been coming up in Little League or whatever for all these years, but they wouldn't let Charlie Ward play. So they finally let Charlie Ward on the field as a junior. And everybody knew how good he was. It was kind of like the Chicago Bulls with George Gervin and Michael Jordan. Everybody knew George Gervin was a Hall of Famer and all that stuff. But now you got Michael Jordan, man. What you gonna do? You can't not run the offense through Michael Jordan, even though George Gervin is a walking bucket. Even though George Gervin was old and past his prime, he was still a walking bucket, right? So finally, you know what I'm saying, they let Charlie Ward get on the field. It's the first game of the season, crosstown. And you know, in these small towns down here in the South, football is king, right? So when these high schools get together on Friday night, everything shut down, right? Everything. So he says the first play of the game, they run the option out of the shotgun, which was unheard of back then. We know what today is the spread option, right? Back then, nobody else was doing it, right? And back then, the option you had, it was a wishbone. You know what I'm saying? So they got trips wide to the small side of the field, right? They got trips to the small side, one receiver on the wide side, right? And so he was like, you know, they're gonna run it to the wide side of the field, right? The only reason why they run trips is to take the defense, to take all the defense and shift it to the short side, so Charlie Ward can have some room to run. So he gets there, and so he sees it, right? He's selling out trying to get to Charlie Ward, right? He gets there. Charlie Ward looks him in his eyes, right? Charlie Ward have a shield on his mask, but he said he can look Charlie Ward in his eyes, right? He says Charlie Ward does his shoulders like that and throws his towel on the ground, and he jumps on the towel, and Charlie Ward takes it 90 yards for a touchdown. He's like, Charlie Ward juked him so bad, faked him out. He threw a towel on the ground, and dude jumped on the towel because he thought it was going to be a football. And Charlie Ward takes off 90 yards in the straight line for a touchdown. And I was like,
bad, man.
I was like, yeah, you crazy. So guess what he did, Ron? I was like, I was like, Lawrence, you lying like hell. He's like, okay, wait right there. He got the VCR tape and blew it up and put it in the VCR. And guess what?
Right on that play.
Yes. Man, we clowned this dude. Oh my God. We clowned this dude for like 4 years. Because Charlie Ward was so quick that he got like right at a place where you can hit somebody. Charlie Ward threw his towel on the ground and took off. And my man fell for it. And ran 90 yards for a touchdown. And yes. Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap up here. I want to thank everybody in the virtual chat for coming through. Thank y'all for visiting the Knicks Morning Drive. Hey, Ron, thank you, man, for coming through. Hey, Chuck B, next time I promise I won't cut you off, man. I'll let you get into your sermon.
No, you won't.
About point guards. Hey, Reem, thank you for coming through. The chat love you, by the way. The chat, my phone, no lie, no cap. Reem, when I disappeared from the chat for like 15 minutes, it was a dude named Hoodie Kev on the phone, a dude named Kev W. He was talking to me about, yo, this Reem the Plug dude is real. Yeah, he real, bro. You know what I'm saying? He lived that life. So Chop, I'm about to get out of here so I get some lunch. But I'm going to
What up, baby? Salute. God bless the panel. Reem, good to meet you. My Dame Dash of this joint here. Uncle Worldwide, Uncle Freezy. God bless you. I just want to come in and salute everybody in the chat. Yeah?
Yeah. Hey, I'm about to play your outro.
That's why I came in. I was driving. I just pulled up. I said, can't go without playing.
Hey, Reem, Reem, check out this outro. I'm gonna play this outro real quick.
I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My family's on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've